grab a microphone and get comfortable. It's about to go down.
La, 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 la.
Welcome to the Monday Night Online Open Mic presented by the legendary New Eurekan Poets Cafe. I am your host. My name is Elemen2al. Happy Monday. This is the jump off, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. We do this every single Monday, and we've been doing this for 186 weeks. Can you dig it? Oh my goodness, can you dig it? But here we are, doing it again. As I said, every Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and X, formerly known as Twitter. If you're watching on one of those streams, which we truly appreciate you, the number is on your screen if you'd like to join us in the Zoom, 279-995-364. It is truly a different world inside the Zoom. Join the greatest community in the world. Why do I say that? You're going to find out why. We do this week after week thanks to some dedicated folks who pay these bills, all right? So we would like to thank the Howard Gilman Foundation, the Poetry Foundation, the New York City Department of Cultural Affairs, and Education of America for hosting our free online events. You can add your energy to the mix with a tax-deductible donation by going to neweurekan.org/contribute. Make sure you are plugging in with the dopest tech in the Zoomverse, the one and only Ron Mark Thompson, aka RMT. If you're not down with RMT by now, damn it, you should be, because that cat's dope. For real. Make sure you are plugging in with the squad. All of these poets have incredible things going on, and they are incredible in their own right. Make sure you are plugging in. Elemen2al.com is where you can find me. So many things coming. Listen, it's been so crazy. Make sure you're plugging in. Tonight's theme, Turning Point Tech, right? This is really about the things that changed your life in the technology sphere of things, right? So for some people, it might be from radio to television, right? Or from typewriter to computer, right? Or it could be from Android to iPhone, right? Like so many different things, like, and we've seen these things, right? From calculator to AI, right? We are talking to these things now and they are responding, right? I've asked mine a few different questions and it just went silent. I said, oh, what happened? Oh, I don't have enough information, right? So these things are happening. This is what it's about, right? Game changers. literally and figuratively, right? Sony is PlayStation is at what, PS5 now, right? Xbox is, who knows, right? There's so many things that have changed the way that we game, right? Changed the way that we think of things. And that's what this is about, right? How technology has turned the corner for us, right? As always, your poem does not have to be on theme to rock with us this evening, all right? Next week's theme coming at you. Masks of life. Tricks or treats. Mind you, folks, this will be the last open mic that the doors of the cafe will be open. All right. So we may just have a good time. You know what I mean? We may have some features to come and rock with us, from our community, just to, celebrate the day and just, celebrate the closing of the cafe. All right. So, but this is really about, front stage versus backstage. You know what I mean? It's not necessarily literally wearing a mask, but it is also figuratively wearing a mask, right? Going into front stage when you go to work, going back into backstage when you go home, a lot of things, right? Why do people pretend to be something more than who or what they are? Right? The screams of Halloween, right? The screams of Halloween. Like, if your poem was gonna win best costume, what would it be dressed as? Just asking y'all, right? If your poem was gonna win best Halloween costume, what would it be dressed as? Just saying. All right, let's get to the rules so we can get to the poetry this evening. Damn it, yeah, we got some here too, but let's get to them. Poets, turn your cameras on. We are trying to simulate a live open mic as much as possible. Plus, we love to see all the beautiful exuberance that goes into your poetic performance. All right. Also, make sure you are changing your Zoom name to coincide with how you want people to connect with you in this Zoom world. All right. Also, as you're getting ready, poems, have your poem ready. All right. If you're going analog, dog ear the page. If you're going digital, make sure you have it pulled up and ready to rock. If you're using music, which is totally cool, make sure that it's original. All right. We don't want the agents of the interweb interfering with our stream in any way. All right, so make sure it's original. If you're playing music, cool. Make sure it's using your original sound. All right, original sound, original music. We're good. Good to go. Poets, you got 3 minutes to rock. All right, and I know, right? I've talked to some folks, right? Some folks are gonna go over that time, but listen, this is about respect, y'all. Right? The folks who know they're gonna go over, they've already reached out and say, "Hey, I might go over. Is that cool?" That is totally cool, right? But make sure you are respecting your fellow poets, right? We are all community members. No one is above another, right? Make sure you respect the poet, right? We all respect each other. Then please respect the people who are coming behind you, all right? We have reached night 9:30 for the babies, folks. And I cannot express this more so than ever, all right? The founders of our cafe were proponents, major proponents, I say again, major proponents of the freedom of speech. And we will make sure it remains in the veins of everything that we do. Therefore, there is no censorship. Beyond any hate speech or any ism that people may use to manipulate, which will not, I said not, be tolerated, there is no censorship, right? I said earlier, this is the greatest community in the world. And you will see that some people do this, but we do this. Poetry is a living, breathing trigger warning. All right? Thou hast been warned. There are explicit lyricists in here. There are people that produce triggering flashbacks. If you are not prepared, prepare yourself. This might as well be the Twilight Zone or the Outer Limits, but guess what? It's real life. This is a true call and response space. After our poets get up here and they rip out and they share with you a real part of who they are, you will see this pop up on your screen. This is when you get a chance to let all of that exuberance out and share it with the poets. Don't worry about the noise, y'all. It's the rowdiest night of the week. And my squad is playing tonight, right? So I'm going bananas anyway, right? Listen, this is when you get a chance to share the energy with the room, all right? All that energy that you give will go back to the poets and it will come back to you in their performance, all right? Don't worry about the noise. It's the rowdiest night of the week anyway. Let's just make it true, all right? The list tonight is closed. All right, sign up begins 24 hours before the open mic, which will be Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. All right, to sign up, you go to neweurican.org. You click on full events calendar. You want the Monday that you want to get down on, and you need an artist RSVP ticket. That's the only way you're getting on the guaranteed list. All right, artist RSVP ticket, and they won't even populate until 24 hours before the show. Right. Also going on in the brick and mortar. Listen, folks, we are winding down truly. All right, winding down. If you're going to be in the New York area, make sure you plug into one of these shows because it is the last, truly the last few. I mean that, right? This week, hosted by Rise Felicia. Next week by Soul Preem, which will, I believe, the last one. All right, before the doors close. Wednesday night. Right, with the B and J Rose. I believe next week is going to be the last one. This week, Thursday, there will be another guest host. Right, I'm not sure. I'll let Ron tell you about that. But there will be another guest host this week. All right. Also, this will be the last Friday night slam with John. If you haven't been there, do yourself a favor and go. It's the hypest night in the. I'm telling you. Shout out DJ Paco. It is the business. I promise you. And then right after that, with Chevy, I'm telling you, make sure you go. If you can go, please do go. Put your hands on the bricks, all right? The renovation is coming, all right? And also the kickoff will be the costume party and listen, it's a send-off, but it's a celebration, right? The doors will close, but the poetry will live on, all right? Tonight's list, oh my goodness. Can you see all these beautiful poets? Oh my goodness. So yeah, guess what? There's all my rowdy friends here on Monday night. All these beautiful poets come to get down, come to rock. Listen, this is the best night of the week. If you don't believe me, we're about to show you. Coming up first, setting us off this evening, and I'm looking forward to this. I don't think this poet has set us off yet, but here comes his chance. This cat has been rocking with us for a while, always has something to rock, right? Always has something ready to rock with us. So come on and show us what it do. The one and only Dre Reyes in the building will be setting us off this evening. Let these folks know how they can connect with you online. It is always great to see you. Come on, Dre Reyes, set it off in here. Let's go.
Hey, Elemental, what's happening, everybody? Indeed, this is my first time leading off here, so this is pretty cool. You can find me on Instagram at DreRay90. Just check out the screen name I have here. So I think I'd bang out two poems real quick. One's gonna be funny and one's gonna be semi-theme. But this is for anybody who's new to my poetry. Oh, Crab Rangoon, you fill me up with fulfillment with your filling face plants onto a field of my taste buds. Every time I have you inside my oral cavern, I cannot help but want to crush you with my stalagmite teeth and swallow you into my abyss while I enjoy feeling you disintegrate slowly under my pressure as you slide all the way down into the pit of my being. Oh, Crab Rangoon. Perfectly addictive, yet perfectly legal drug. And yes, I did say drug. Have you ever eaten one and not feel dopamine and serotonin flood every mini vessel in your being with the utmost sense of culinary nirvana? You're the Asian equivalents to Pringles. Once you pop, you can't stop. In life, there should be only two universal defining periods. Life before and after accepting Crab Rangoon as your Lord, Savior, and demigod. Oh, Crab Rangoon, you miracle of life. If you were made in your original pure form, the pharmaceutical industry would cease to exist because you cure all. I'll never forget the time I had that stomach ache, and you, with your crunchy exterior and your cheesy, creamy, crabby holiness. Crab Rangoon, you are the body of Christ. Your healing powers influenced me to start an underground street fighting club called Crab Rangoon Club. And the first rule of Crab Rangoon Club is we definitely talk about Crab Rangoon. Oh, Crab Rangoon, the joy and despair of all, how they rewrote the history books. You, Crab Rangoon, every 80s power ballad and 70s adult film was inspired by you in some weird way, by your rich, sexual white chocolates. Oh, Crab Rangoon, I'm a goon for you, always have and always will. So that was that one. Now, I was playing with the idea of life being like television, because I feel like as a kid growing up, life was either TV or video games. But I decided to compare life to that, and also love. So this is The Revolution is Televised. Life has been like dull television programming for way too long, with a couple of commercial breaks, layered in like lasagna with the same old ingredients: a poetic big bang, a peace of mind, a sense of happiness, and this concept of love, all of which seem nothing but vivid pipe dreams sold on screens, failed attempts at selling broken products. There have been times in which I just wants to turn off the TV, but then I changed my cable plan, giving me access to new channels of thought. And that is how I was able to view you, you wonderful marathon of best programming I've ever seen. Not only have you captivated me, I've grabbed that depression and distorted thinking, crumpled up into a ball, shouted, "Curry from 3 from way downtown," and nailed a beautiful face into the trash. Nothing but net. Let me just grab that TV remote and snap that piece of shit in half. Might as well delete the obsolete. No need to turn up or down the volume or change the channel or turn it off. If we need to change the input settings, if we want to play, no worries, we'll figure that out together. I just want you the way you are. DVD, Blu-ray, 4K discs may be cool for some people, but I love you in your original form. No need for deleted scenes or special features. You are beautiful raw footage of poetry, emotion, a walking revolution being televised 24/7, and I don't want to blink an eye. I just want to be able to take in every possible moment. So please, whatever you do not cancel your programming ever. Thank y'all.
Yo, this cat just gave you a whole PSA for real. Unmute yourself, give it up for Dre Reyes.
That was nice.
That was a wonderful way to start us, Dre. Thanks so much for that.
Beautiful.
That
That
was
was the
great. So
greatest way
funny.
to start it.
Such a
Much
keen
love.
sense of humor.
Great way. And we will not cancel Dre. That was amazing. Good stuff. Cancel programming. I love it. Love it.
Absolutely not. I truly appreciate all y'all. Appreciate you, Dre Reyes, for setting us off this evening. Starship is underway. We will continue. Listen, when you come with something like that, man, listen, food is one of those things. He said, yes, I said legal drug, right? Fact, right? Food is one of those things, right? I implore all of you to find out what are the top things that release the most endorphins in your brain. One of them is food. Find out the other ones, right? I love that he said crab rangoon, right? He said they did a face plant onto my field, onto a field of my taste buds. The culinary nirvana, listen, I'm telling you, when you get good food, it's just like, right? It just transports you to somewhere else when you really, really taste the food, right? I think I saw the daughter of Krypton jump on that too. She said, the first rule of Crab Rangoon Club, like you did that with that one, man. I truly appreciate that. For real. In the second piece, really, when you start talking about new channels of thought, You know, I think that everyone could benefit from something like that. You know what I mean? Just being able to see things in different ways from different perspectives, right? He said, I just want you the way you are. Original raw footage, right? I love you in your original form. A walking revolution being televised. Listen, man, be careful how you say that, right? Be careful how you say that, right? Shout out your better half also. I'll mention them later. But listen, shout out, be careful how you say that, man. Somebody might actually believe you. You know what I'm saying? They might believe you, and you might not be able to get rid of them. Appreciate you, Dre Rez. Listen, I told y'all we are underway, so let's keep it going. Coming up next, I just mentioned this poet. This poet has a literary magazine. I believe they're getting ready to publish. They are in all kinds of mixes, right? From, you know, from social media to literary to poetry to just amazing in so many different facets and forms. I like to call it the daughter of Krypton. The one and only Finn Bell is in the building. Let these folks know how they can connect with you and all the things you do. It is always great to see you. Please. Take it away.
Good to see you too. Thank you so much. Good evening, folks. You could find me on Instagram. I am Finn_Bell. And so the theme tonight, Turning Point Tech, I was going to write to it. And the first thing that I thought of when I thought of tech is the thing that begins with an A-L-E-X-A. I'm not going to say her name because she's going to respond. And so it started out that way. But it turned somehow from that into a ghost story, because my brain is still very much on sewing. So this is called Almonds. In the dream, she said softly, I don't know what this is. Do you love me today? Where should I look? In the alcove, the people stir. Beneath plaster, they mouth the same words that they hear, patiently echoed back to them when they press cheeks to cool, damp walls. Their ears have mossed over. They listen only to what they can bear to hold, and I am here and here and here. All the rooms know my name, hang my blouses in their sunken treasure closets. The mirrors say hello, but only when they are facing you. They have hands in reverse of mine and speak amongst themselves behind palms about me. In twist trunk witches rhyme, they hum, there is a girl who is dancing. She pirouettes in bright crimson shoes. She is twirling herself merrily to her grave. They cannot recall the last line. There is a lone man holding up the cellar ceiling, drinking up the aged wine. At his leisure by cask and row, we stay still. We stay unnoticed and can feel his thumb flick at fragrant corks like they were stale air, caress bottles into becoming tender young bodies. We make playtime of sealing him in brick by brick, a mud pie makeshift tomb. He will never come calling again, tapping at our bedroom door, but sometimes errant night terrors. He slips under the bed, steals under the covers. Darling, hush. My argons float in old jam jars. I line them up tidy on the cherry kitchen counter. I feed each one full round almond a day to keep them gorged to buy their silence. The moon tries to creep in through the cracks made wide in the window pane by the sun leaving home. She bathes the pale figurines in rotation, freezes their faces in perpetual astonishment, leaves a trail of moon dust for us to find in the morning light. I awaken at noon to find the jam jars agitated, the organs regurgitated upon the blue-gray earthen floor. The almonds have rotted into vinegar-soaked stones waiting to be devoured by the jovial flushed man below ground. Thank you.
Yo, that's kind of magic. I don't appreciate that. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Finn Bell.
Almighty, that
Very
the
nice.
Almighty,
Wow. Lovely. Man. That was beautiful.
Almighty King Bell.
Beautiful.
I hear I'm loving the Halloween prompts too.
The Almighty King Bell. Oh,
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. For real. Yeah. For real. This is why I love our community. I told you from the jump, it's the greatest community in the world, right? You heard someone say, "Ooh, I'm loving the prompts." You know what that means, right? We are also inside Inktober. And one of the persons who are actually inking Inktober is the one and only Finn Bell. If you need prompts, you need ideas, you need inspiration, go to the source. This just happens to be one of them. Her name is the daughter of Krypton. She mentioned the name of a turning point tech that we all know that you can't even say out loud because it will awaken and say, "Did you call me?" Right? Everyone knows that, right? If I say that name right now, all of your things will be like, no, don't say that. Don't say that. I didn't call you. Right? That's how important it has become. You can't even say its name out loud. And there are two of them that we both know very rare, very, very clearly. You say both of those names right now, and they will all jump up, right? And I love that fact that you tied it into ghost stories. And I've said before, right? Science fiction is now science fact, right? And all those things that we thought were kind of ghost stories and we put them into real life, they are real, right? I love how you do that, right? To listen to only what they care about, right? The ears listen to only what they care to bear, to hold, right? The mirrors say hello. Once in a while, I think the mirrors say hello. But most of the time, I think they be giving me one of those, right? You know what I mean? Like, who do you think you are type of thing. Make playtimes of ceilings, right? But I think one of the most sinister things that you said in there, even though you said bathe the figurines in rotation, like that's just kind of, it reminds me of Misery, right? You've been out of your room today, right? My penguin usually points southwest type, but you said, darling, hush. Damn, something about that. It just it's such a murderous line. It's so soft, but it's such a murderous line for some reason. And I love it. It slays every time. That's why I call it murderous, because it slays every single time. Every time you hear it, it's just one of those things. Make sure you are plugging in with Finn Bell. They are all over the world doing amazing things. Also, a director, I believe, right, of the Poetry Global Network. Make sure you are plugging in with all the things that they do on the move, truly. All right, coming up next, love when this cat comes through, always coming through to share his energy with us, but doesn't always come to share his poetry. So I always love his presence one way or the other. Shout out to educators in the building, the one and only Professor Platinum Doug Silver in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you online. It's always great to hear your poetry. Please take it away.
Thank you, Elemental, very much. Great to see and hear you and all the poets, as always, of course. This one's on theme, more or less, and once again, it's based on an image from Rattle's ekphrastic challenge. Rattle supplied an image of a robot holding a bouquet of flowers, and here's what I came up with. It's hard to tell maybe hearing it out loud, but it's an Abecedarian poem once again, and shout out to Mia for reminding me of that form. I love this form, so thanks to Mia. This poem is called Giftings. Anyone can say this is love, but how can it be measured? Can it be seen from the outside, looking in? Don't be deceived by appearances, even when they seem to come from sincerity. Few can tell the difference between gestures and the real deal, if there is a real deal. How can we even know it within ourselves? It's something that might be there one moment, just long enough to let itself be glimpsed, almost known, before changing into something long wanted, but never really needed. Many of us said they can never love, can never know what it is to love, or could never recognize or truly accept love, pretending this is how it's supposed to be, quietly judging as if we know the answers. robots gifting flowers. But for what? For whom? Someone or something willing to accept them, take them and put them in a vase without water until they dry and live forever. Very soon they will too. Who would accept such an offer, such an opportunity, except the lonely, except the unloved and afraid? You, me, him, her, they, them, us. Zealots made of metal, zealots made of flesh. Thanks very much.
Oh, if that's not straight from the Matrix, I don't know what is. Unmute yourself, give it up for Doug Silver.
Wow.
That was dope.
That flowers line.
Awesome.
Thank you, Duncan.
Went so deep.
Powerful.
Ooh. That flowers line went so deep.
Ah.
Yeah, Doug. Awesome.
Thanks, everybody.
When you come up with something like that, right? When you're talking about an inanimate object, supposedly, giving someone an organic object, why? I love that you even asked that. Why? Why? Right? What is the point of this? When this doesn't know about this and this one doesn't, like, why? I absolutely just love that. I was a part of a stream once that mentioned that, right? Because this was like a couple years ago, and artificial intelligence was writing poetry. And I was saying, yo, I don't think that's possible, but I heard it, right? And when you know what they're doing, they're just mimicking something that they heard, right? So when you see that, it just goes somewhere else. It is poetic though, right? Because they're basing it off of something that they've seen, right? Two things. One, shout out the Absidarian Forum. Totally beautiful that you even brought that up. Two, shout out Mia Aguilera, one of the dopest in the world, for real. They were actually in the ER recently, so make sure you are sending healing vibes to Mia. And then in the poem, right, I love how you even go into the fact that you mentioned appearances, right? Many of us said we could never love, right? But then here comes this machine that we all say, oh, I love this. It does what I needed to do when I needed to do it. It doesn't complain, right? So many things, right? Pretending how this is supposed to be, right? Robots gifting flowers. That's just so heavy to me, right? It just, but then you had the nerve to go further than that, Doug Silver. You said they put flowers in a vase until they dry and live forever. Pretty soon, they will too. Damn it. Listen, listen. It's something about that simple thing. You think it died, but now it lives forever, right? And this thing is creating immortal beings. Damn it. That's what this is about, y'all. That's what this is about, right? I see you, man. It goes around, right? Now it's creating a new cycle. Let's keep it going, y'all. I'm telling you, appreciate you, Doug Silver. Again, shout out all the educators in the room and in the world. I appreciate y'all for truly always staying dedicated to what you do. Appreciate you. And I mentioned math, right? Coming up, another educator. I'm telling you, educators in the building this evening, y'all. Woo! Look, this incredible author of Black Calculus and Four Crescents continues to come through and show us how it's done at a high level and just happens to be smooth with it. I'm telling you, this cat he's so serious with it. The one and only Norm Mathematics in the building. Let these folks know how they can find you online. It is always great to see you. Please, take it away.
Dang, Elemental, you know how to call a brother out. All right, so this is where you can find me, right here. Hopefully every 2 weeks, okay? So I got a piece that's on theme, I believe, and then another one to follow up. Before all of this happened, I was gonna meet you by the fountain in the park, hug you where you could hug me back in public, feeling the cool flesh of your earlobe glancing my pursed lips, kissing that warm hollow behind your pierced ear. Was going to see you at point blank range, close enough to inhale your musk, rising between our spaces, warm curves, moving mountains, irresistible currents to dive into, indifferent to potential drowning. Was not dreaming of a pixelated facsimile on a cold screen, made believe to be seen, stuck in a two-dimensional aisle, sitting adjacent to you. I was going to feel the glimmer in your eyes, the telescopic vista across my innerverse, where only I can look. The shimmer across my face, only the holographic glow, a wiggle between diodes. Even thousands of miles of separation might combust two flaming passions, charred by supernova, unidentified ashes blown to four winds. Constrictions on critical spaces where ships are normally built. Virtual proximity has illuminated 7 constructed 2-lane bridges spanning the gaps between your chakras and mine's. Undergirding, anchored deep enough to grow an equal sign between your expression and my expression. Something greater than love or equal to love. Next piece. What you don't have weighs you down. Remember when you had a headache for the first time? How the lights hurt your eyes, how nausea took away your hunger. Remember you heard about the big C, the thing that could hide anywhere in your body and kill you in the nightmares of your daydreams. Remember when you wore fear? Worry wore your face, like there was something to worry about. Every sneeze, every cough, every pain in the head, every slow healing scab was a cancer undiscovered. Remember, I gave up worrying about dying in this dimension. What sense does it make worrying about dying while dying doesn't give 2 fucks about me? What lays in front of me? A path I've never walked, steps I've never taken, no other footsteps, and yet all paths before me lead to the same destination. The challenge is creating life I haven't imagined, only realizing now that life is like love, its own flow of chaos. I am a fool thinking I control destiny as if faith is under control, while life threatened leaves you behind. I choose life, taking me where I need to be, not like it's a place I need to go. Peace.
Yo, where we know you need to go is right here every Monday. Come on, man. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Matt.
All the love in the world.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yo,
Yep.
yes, yes, yes.
Yep. Fire.
Complete
Fire.
fire, absolute
Fire.
fire. Wow. Profoundly profound. Unbelievable. Definitely.
Thank you, my people.
Yes, yes.
Yo, so here's the thing, right? Math wields many things, as in he was a fencer. Yes. Coming back at, yes. Okay, so yes, he was a fencer, right? And he wields his pen now for poetry, and then also a math educator, correct? Math, listen, this is what I love about poets, because we take so many forms, right? We might as well be transformers, right, on this plane of existence, because we do so many things, right? We take so many forms, right? Math, listen, in that first poem, I think you might have given a lot of people goosebumps, right? Because you mentioned kissing the warm hollow behind their pierced ear. right? And if any person has ever been kissed there, they absolutely feel that, right? Warm curves, moving mountains, right? The telescopic vision of my inner verse. Come on, man. 7 constructed bridges with 2-lane bridges. Like, come on, man. Like you make it so absolutely real, you can't help but actually see it. You know what I mean? In the second piece, I really, really dug the fact that you said, you know, what you don't have weighs you down, right? I think a lot of people get caught up in wants and desires compared to what we actually have. Said, kill you in the nightmares of your daydreams. Damn it. Damn it. Life is like luck, its own form of chaos, man. Listen, you got to live it to experience it. Appreciate you, Math. You got to know what it is to know what it is. Appreciate you. Make sure you are plugging into mathematics and getting his latest manuscript. Truly, truly, that cat loves what he does, and you will always get something from him. All right. Coming up next, this poet continues to come through and share their incredible work. And listen, when folks come through and they continue to come through, listen, I know, I done told you it's the greatest community in the world. And listen, this poet has got the bug too. Coming up right at you. Sierra's in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you online. It is great to see you. Please take it away.
It's great to be here. Thank you. Still getting a social media thing together. But I think these are on theme. When you said tech, I think sci-fi, fantastical, for some reason. So yeah, let's go. It's an oldie but goodie. I have 2 tonight. I was alive once, fertile and damp, stealing the sunshine away from the sky. Yeah, I was alive, hanging from boys' arms like monkeys do tree branches, flying from one to the next. Alive like grins, effortlessly bragging, spitting fistfuls of passion, flinging mouthfuls of deception. Alive like the rooster crows in the morning time, or the monsters who dance at moonshine, releasing harmonies out of their necks. Tuned into the energy of the universe, praising planets with Holy Ghost energy, carving kisses into the Milky Way galaxy, diving into pools of lust and coming out dry with perfection, no detection of flaws, because that's fantasy, like revolving escalators and doors that slide up, candy that you rub on your body, shoes that you chew, alive like truth. Like gum that never loses its flavor, like grass that never dies, alive, like fresh sheets out of the sink, sopping with domesticity and pretty, begging to be ringed, alive like death, like forever that never lasts, like darkness that demands, like broken promises and senseless plans, like you. And then the second poem is called Once Upon a Time. It was the brightest after the storm, vibrant amber painting the sky, seeping into my draped bedroom window, commanding my attention. I eagerly pranced towards the majestic landscape, eyes dazzling at God's artistry. In the background, I hear faint ticking coming from beyond the basement stairs. I descend into the cool lower level, a shiver on my skin, and follow the enchanting sound. There, I find the largest grandfather clock I've ever seen, adorned with handcrafted wood filigree, a curvaceous beauty. It opens before me and sparkles erupt from its core. Like a siren's call, I enter a mesmeric trance, and into the timekeeper I journey. A vivid slideshow appears, replaying memories of a life I never lived. The giggling of a little girl, innocence completely intact, where Barbies and Ken dolls venture to extravagant lands for bottomless ice cream cones, and the swaying of hips are reserved for double Dutch competitions, and under the moonlight, only stories of fantastical tomorrows and beyond your wildest dreams of all possibilities become alive. A childhood wrought with naivety and immaturity and joy. Tears fill my eyes and a familiar longing washes over me. I feel the real little girl inside weeping for the adult that never came. I close my eyes and let the body's salt water fall. A gentle touch to my chest, a compassionate inner kiss, and my body becomes covered in tingles. When I open my eyes, I'm in front of my bedroom window. The sun has set and a midnight blue washes over the sky. My hands pressed together at my heart center, meeting each other in unconditional love. With gratitude, a soft smile gently spreads across my face and I whisper, I'm here and I love you.
Sometimes that just speaks so loudly. Gosh, unmute yourself. Give it up for Sierra.
Yeah.
Those are amazing, absolutely astonishing.
Yeah.
For real.
It's hot. That was hot.
Incredible. You got a golden pen. I got to throw my pencil away.
Listen. Oh, this is why I get excited for Monday night, y'all. I'm so serious about it. I do. When you come with something like that, right? When you are speaking from a true poet's heart, right? You get that, right? It said stealing the sunshine away from the sky in the first poem, right? Spitting fistful of passion. Come on now. Chess, not checkers, right? We hope with that Holy Ghost energy, right? Candy that you rub on your body, grass that'll never die, right? You mentioned the clothes in the sink, right? Washing the clothes in the sink, sopping with domesticity. That was nasty. Like lightness that demands, like darkness that demands. You said like you, like the way that you dropped that last piece, that was just so, that was money. And the second piece you mentioned, eyes dazzling at God's artistry, right? Into the timekeeper I journey, right? Swing of hips are reserved for the double Dutch competition, right? I feel you. Listen, I can hear the work that you put in, right? I can see you are in your verbal gymnasium, right? Working hard at it, speed bagging, heavy bagging. Listen, please continue to do just that and continue to come through and share it with us, right? Because we are here for it every single week, right? You got your community, you found it, make sure you come through. Appreciate you, Sierra. All right. Y'all are just on the money this evening. I'm telling you. So let's keep it going. Coming up next. Listen, it is always a pleasure when the Jedi Master is in the building because he does it at such a level that we are all still learning from, whether it's him or he just sends his voice to us. The one and only Paul Skiff continues to blow our minds. I'm telling you, please let these folks know where they can find you online. It is always great to see you. Please take it away.
Hey, hi, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Thanks again for that warm welcome, Elemental, and props to RMT, keeping the electricity flowing. I don't think this, I've been going to too many Zoom rooms lately. I can't keep track of what I did where, so I don't think I have done this here. I don't think it's on theme, but let's see. How distant from the earth does one need to travel in order to find any real profound thought? While the last 300,000 years passes, who is playing the xylophone? I want you to be my crucial ingredient. I know beneath your surface it reigns human darkness. You glow duller at the bottom of a red ocean. How impossible is evidence that life reacts according to quivers of the universe where knowing is out of reach? The oxygen that comes out of you like it was an oppressed population wears a hat of loud announcements about change. This is known as the Great Speechless Event. Speechlessness built up as overstatement of complete wonder that swallows sage and yerba santa. What is going to change the possibility of your life is in the geologic history of the planet Earth? How is the Earth employing you as a biological organism? What makes you so efficient at being you? A chrome storm cloud in the place thought counts as sacred rips up its own assimilation. There will be no indistinct reflections internalized by rationality that are not shards of selflessness. I saw you shift color. I did. I saw you shift color from acid to arboreal, to suspense, to incognito. There is no need to verify or denigrate it as soon as you disappear. This party my mouth is dancing to right now was made out of fingertips finding common wisdom. It would not be possible to reconnoiter spaces between the notes of this hum. Mellow, besides, is not laughter from surprise, a search for satiation spreads on necessity's bread. Do not mix antisocial with freedom, although satire that wears a tattoo serpent on its lips calculates polite civil disobedience by shedding the skin of its table manners. We are each other's nutrient, flowing into new opportunities for paradise if world history abdicates. You are the metal required for life to vibrate with megahertz. We are the life form that completely remodeled the planet, water, earth, and sky, ergonomic for traits. The thin, life-giving band of gas that permits you to live is playing to eternity while now falters. Today, the world is created by life. I am transformed by the atmosphere. To many ways, sequence distributes places thought will take place. Feeling, space, consciousness, and time have no permission needed to disambiguate fate, yet banality happens. What does it all mean? Hides explication out in the knowing that appears as empty space, invisible as a thought. A destination that is already arrived upon as it is traveled toward is not seen by looking. If fear adds up over time, a generation not yet born is produced by last regrets. There is no clear view out the spinning house, sheltered within by vulnerable tradition, except of the insatiable, automatic disempowerment made by obsolescence. Just remember, is advice seconded by what you should know better, which holds the past to have no value. The secret, that is, if you want to know, makes creation pure autonomy with luxurious spirit of not meaning anything. To you, I know. To you, it may seem disagreeable. Time should be blank of gratification, significance, or anticipated purpose. I am hiding in another way to be alive. Hiding in another way to be alive. Hiding in another way to be alive. I am hiding in another way to be alive. I am hiding in another way to, in another way to, in another way to, in another way to be alive.
Yo, he said who's playing the xylophone? It's Paul and Paul Skiff and Paul Skip. Unmute yourself, give it up for Paul Skip.
Woo! Oh, you never disappoint. Woo!
I adore your writing. I adore your
That cat comes through and Jedi mind tricks everybody. Everybody. I mean, everybody. Listen, if I wasn't focused on what I'm doing, Paul Skiff would have Jedi mind tricked me into giving him my wallet. And I don't even carry a wallet. I'm telling you. Look, that dude, the metachlorian count is crazy in that cat. Thank you, Paul Skiff, for continuing to break the boundaries of what we know as poetry. Right? You really truly represent there is no spoon. Like so much so. You're just so far gone in this thing. That is brilliant. And I love that. Right? She said, beneath your surface, it rains human darkness. Come on, man. You know how you know how far inside here you have to be to say something like that, right? Where knowing is out of reach, right? What makes you so efficient at being you? I need you to be careful with questions like that, sir, because you're giving the technologically advancing thing more questions to ask. I'm going to address this soon, but are we allowing technology the right to 3D print our replacements? Just saying. Autonomy is questionable, right? You can program that. Listen, it's so crazy. It's just shedding the skin of its table manners. Like, I saw you shift colors, right? Like, disambiguate fate, like invisible as a thought. Like you just do things very different, sir. And I appreciate you for always going there, right? If fear adds up over time, it produces a generation of past regrets. Yeah. I heard that too, right? Thank you for giving us past, present, and future, and challenging all three of them. Truly, we appreciate you. All right, coming up next, this fly individual, always coming through with the gusto, always coming through with the fresh gear on him. Look at this poet representing all of his poetic life, and I love it. The one and only Gustav Silas in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you online, Gustav. It's always great to see you. Please, take it away.
Hey, Elemental. Hey, RMT, beloved poets. I'm Magus801. That's Magus 801 on Instagram. Let's get in some good trouble. Let's collaborate. I have 2 pieces tonight, brand new shit. This is called My Cell Phone. My cell phone is a wonder of technology. I love it without apology. It can Google any information, give me directions across the nation, or find me what to eat for dinner, a recipe or a restaurant that's a winner. It has a camera that takes great selfies that I can post to Instagram like a breeze. My cell phone lights up with just a touch. I must say it does so much to make my life just that much better. Yes, this phone's a real go-getter. My cell phone really seems to know me. It does everything but blow me. And this, my friends, is an ode to Zoom. This is quite simply an ode to Zoom and the global poetry boom, which has transformed my life, giving me respite from all the strife, from the COVID-19 nervous breakdown, which threatened to take down my fucking sanity. It threatened our very humanity. We were forced to social distance, to shelter in place was the insistence. Then Zoom open mics began to flourish. Truly my soul they did nourish, creating bonds with poets worldwide who are now my friends that I'd have never met without Zoom. Indeed, it opened a world in which I am freed. Thank you very much. Love you all.
Oh, there's so many facts in what Gustav just said. Oh my goodness, unmute yourself. Give
Woo,
it up.
we love you too. Woo.
Gustav, yes, sir.
Woo.
It's opened up so much as far as open mics during the pandemic.
It is a new frontier. You have a big responsibility that comes with it.
Always coming through.
Indeed. Yep.
Always coming through with some goodness.
Redefining indivisible we are.
Yeah.
You see how beautiful this community is, right? We connect with so many things in so many different ways, right? Thank you, Gustav, for always coming through with all your gusto. Listen, it's totally cool. Listen, I love how you said my cell phone. I love it without apology, and that's cool. There's not a person in this world that would not die or lose some sort of sleep if this thing wasn't at their hip, okay, within reach, right? It's almost become like rubbing your nose or fixing your hat or adjusting your glasses. It's reaching for this. I get it, right? It does so much. It really knows me. The only thing that it doesn't do, however, if it starts to do that, it's over. Just saying. He said that it does everything except one thing. If it starts to do that, just saying, we got a problem. We got a problem. In the second piece, you know, I love when we talk about things that happened before, right? Because COVID did change our life, right? He said we were forced to be social distance. Would any of you agree that we were socially distant before the pandemic hit. I'm just, just, I mean, COVID just gave everybody a reason to say, ew, you got germs too. However, I will say, Gustav, I will have to reiterate what you said. COVID did allow us to find this and create bonds with poets worldwide. No doubt about it, right? Because everyone can say that I know a poet who lives in another part of the world, right? I know a Poetok, right? I know a Unmesh Mohikar, right? Right? Who doesn't, right? We are global, folks, right? I know a Mr. Teza Somok who lives in LA, right? I know a Liz Minette who lives in Minnesota. I know a Lantern Carrier who lives in the UK. You feel me? Like, this is who we are, folks. I know a Raul James who lives in Canada. I know a CP Mays who lives in Houston, Texas. I know a Zon Conto that lives in Canada, right? This is our global community, y'all. Thank you. Thank you, Megas, for doing everything that you do. I truly appreciate you. And here comes one of the storytellers that I mentioned. Storytellers are in the building. And listen, I'm starting to think that y'all listen. Y'all might have a moratorium on this little thing that y'all got here, right? It might be a little mixed because the storytellers are coming back to back to back. And if you ain't ready, get yourself ready, get your popcorn ready, because the storytellers are here this evening. Coming up first in the storytellers group, the one and only Mr. Teza Somok. He's about to commence his Tez Talk. Listen, let these folks know where they can find you online, Mr. Tez. Always great to see you. Please, take it away.
Thank you. Thank you. Monday night, New Rican Poets Cafe, open mic. I dropped my info on the chat. You can follow me on Gaseous 2019 and also tesosomok.substack. I'm going in with some storytelling. A mythical way of ants from a Yaqui way of life. Once upon a time, in the mystical land of the Sonoran Desert, Don Juan, the super wise sorcerer, decided to enlighten his trusty apprentice, Carlos, about the astonishing wonders of ants. Don Juan was known for his profound teachings and his knack for adding his own sarcastic touch to everything he shared. Sitting under a giant cactus, Don Juan pointed at a tiny ant crawling on his arm. "Ah, Carlos, my boy, behold the majestic creature that is an ant," he declared dramatically. Carlos squinted, trying to see what was so magical about a regular old ant. Don Juan snickered and said, "You see, Carlos, ants hold the secrets of the universe within their minuscule bodies." Carlos raised an eyebrow skeptically, unable to resist a chuckle. "Really, Don Juan? Ants? Those tiny things that march around like they're going to war?" Don Juan laughed heartily, slapping his knee. "Oh, Carlos, you got it all wrong. Ants are the epitome of tensegrity points of power. They know the secrets of the cosmos, and their little ant hills are portals to other dimensions." Carlos burst into laughter, unable to contain himself. "So you're telling me that under every anthill is a secret doorway to a parallel universe? Is that where the ants are going when they march into those perfectly straight lines?" Don Juan nodded enthusiastically. "Exactly, my sarcastic apprentice. Those lines are like magical GPS systems guiding the ants towards their interdimensional adventures. They work together in perfect sync, practicing intricate social dynamics and teamwork that will put any government to shame." Carlos couldn't believe that he was actually having this conversation. "And what about the anthills? Are they little power plants or something?" Don Juan grinned mischievously. "Oh, Carlos, you're cracked. The cosmic puzzle. Ant hills are nothing more than tiny yet infinitely powerful charging stations. They gather the energy from the surrounding universe and funnel it into the secret ant lairs where they store it for their grand interdimensional escapades. Carlos burst into laughter again. So these ants, are they planning world domination or something? No, Carlos raised an eyebrow and shook his head mockingly. No, Carlos. These ants are way too sophisticated for that. They prefer to spend their time contemplating the mysteries of the universe. They're philosophers in tiny ant bodies, pondering the meaning of life and the existence of parallel dimensions, while actually marching around. Quite impressive, really. Carlos couldn't help but join in on the laughter. All right, Don Juan, I'll never look at ants the same way again. The wise philosophers of the earth under our very noses. Don Juan nodded, a slight plastered on his face. That's the spirit, Carlos. Remember, even the tiniest creatures hold unimaginable mysteries within. Now let's continue our journey to uncover the infinite wisdom found in the majestic world of bees. And with that, the two left, laughing and joking about the absurdity of ants and their supposedly magical powers. And so Don Carlos journey on, and with a newfound appreciation for this tiny creature of the earth, thanks to the ever entertaining teachings of his eccentric mentor, Don Juan.
Damn it, Don Juan. Golly, give it up for Mr. Tesasomo.
Love you, Tez. Love you, Tez.
Mr. Tez, the new Carlos Castaneda. Yeah.
The great Tez talk.
Like, there's something about a storyteller that's unlike anything else in the world. And I mentioned before, there was one point in the world, in America, I believe at the turn of the 20th century, which is 1900, poets were the greatest entertainers in the country because radio was the main medium for people to receive entertainment. Poets are natural storytellers, right? You just happen to be rocking with the best of them, right? And I'm telling you, the storytellers are in the building this evening, right? And I love how Mr. Tez sets off the storytelling aspect because he started off with the astonishing wonders of ants. Right? He said, ants hold the secrets of the universe, right? Even though they march around like they're going to war all the time, to me, that says discipline. That says organization. That says focus. That means if you coming at them, you're going to have a problem because their organization is off the charts, right? Said they cracked the cosmic puzzle. I like that, right? Their grand interdimensional escapades. Yeah, man. Are they planning world domination? There are lots of ants. There are lots of ants. But they work with the natural equilibrium of Earth. They're not trying to be dominant. They want to live too, right? It's a balance, folks. Thank you, Mr. Tez, for always bringing an incredible story and enlightening us in a way that only Mr. Tez can. I'm telling you, the storytellers are real, and they're going to show you why. Thank you, Mr. Tez. Coming up next, I'm telling you, the storytellers are here, y'all. This gentleman I like to call the Ike Waltz of poetry, working on, I believe, his 7th publication of poetry. This gentleman always comes through with such a pen. Like, I'm talking like sharp as a T.S. Eliot type of Robert Frosty Sub-Zero type of thing. The one and only Ike Waltz is in the building this evening, y'all. Let these folks know where they can find you online. It is always great to see you. Come on, man. Take it away.
May I share the screen, please?
Absolutely.
Dalla Barocco e Spaghetti all'Arrabbiata. This is my first attempt at creating video poetry. It's combining abstract singing, the spoken word, imagery, and the human weakness for keyhole voyeurism, all placed in a real, non-AI graveyard. So let me see if I can do it. Here we go.
Prosecco, prosecco, prosecco. Cin cin, cin cin, antipasti,
Formaggi dell'orto,
sei bella, you are beautiful,
stagionati le vongole,
mi rendi felice, you make me happy,
calamari carpaccio,
ti adoro, I adore you, ti voglio bene, I love you a lot.
affettato,
Baciami, kiss me. Scusi, cameriere, vino rosso, prego. Il migliore, per favore. Vino rosso, andiamo, andiamo.
della mia vita.
You are the love of my life. Baciami, baciami. Kiss me, kiss me, kiss me, kiss me. Insalata, insalata.
Misto de mare,
Ti penso sempre. Think about you.
tricolore, tricolore, tricolore,
Pancetta,
tricolore, tricolore,
pancetta, pancetta, pancetta. Mi piaci molto. I like you very much.
parmigiano,
Ti ammiro. I admire you.
alla siciliano,
Sono innamorato. Sono innamorato. I am in love. I am in love. I am in love. Baciami.
baciami, baciami,
Primi piatti.
fettuccini Alfredo,
Ti desidero. I want you. Solo tu mi capisci. Only you understand me.
pene gratinate, ravioli della nonna, crespolini di zucca.
Sono pazzo, sono pazzo. I am crazy about you.
I am crazy about you. Baciami, baciami. Gnocchi, cassarecci, ravioli di mare,
Sono ubriaco. I am drunk with you.
spaghetti misto mare e mele del fattore.
Ti voglio baciare. I want to kiss you.
Bognonese, popete, lasagna, sposami.
Sposami.
Ti amo, ti amo.
I love you. I love you. Secondi piatti.
Pollo alle mele, salti in bocca bene, bistecca del giorno.
Mi hai stregata. You have bewitched me. Io sono tuo.
Io sono tua.
I am yours.
Gamborini alla diavolo, pepe verde.
Pizza.
Pizza.
Pizza. Pizza.
Quattro formaggi, frutti del mare.
Molto carino.
E mascarpone capricciosa di Parme.
Formaggio.
Mozzarella gongosola, burrata pepato.
Ti voglio molto bene. Ti adoro. I love you very much. I adore you.
Casalina tirolese, scaccia di calmanino.
Dolci, dolci, dolci.
Canestrelli, cannoli, cantuccini.
Sei così dolce. Ti amo. You are so sweet. I love you.
Cioccolatini, tiramisù, torrone, panettone.
Ti desidero. Ti voglio baciare. I want you. I want to kiss you. Espresso.
Ristretto, dorso, corretto, sospeso.
Mi manchi. I miss you.
Aperitivo, ti amo.
Ti amo.
Limoncello, amaro, mandorle, passito. Andiamo, baciami.
Andiamo. Baciami. I always think about you. Hurry up. Kiss me. Non vedo l'ora.
Baciami, ti amo.
Sposami, sposami, sposami. Kiss me, I love you. Marry me.
Unmute yourself, give it up for Ike. Whoa!
Mind blown.
Yo, mind blown. Yes, that was beyond sublime, mind-blowingly ridiculous. I just can't even come up with enough adjectives.
Everything.
That was ridiculous.
Beautiful.
The crazy part about it was so beautiful, beautiful, beautiful,
Yeah,
beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
You made such a
Amazingly
memory,
beautiful.
Ike, that nobody's gonna ever forget the keyhole.
So true.
Like,
It's just,
you know you've done something major when nobody's gonna ever
Thank you,
forget that
CP.
keyhole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, CP. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
I appreciate all y'all for letting your colleague know how really and truly captivating what just happened was. Even from the title, right? He called it keyhole voyeurism, right? So when you see it that way, knowing that already, right? Ike, I'm coming back at you, sir, because I have a question for you. First of all, I mean, I could be wrong, but in my life, that is the first poetic opera that I've ever seen produced by a member of my community, right? He actually just produced a whole opera type of situation, very Shakespearean-esque. I have a question for you, Ike, which is why I'm coming back at you. What language, first of all, what language was the woman singing in? And number two, did you produce all of that?
I produced all of it. The woman was a student opera singer from the Santa Cruz University, and she's actually Spanish, but she sang in Italian, and I spoke in Italian. And there's one thing which you unfortunately cannot witness. If you play that piece on a big screen, the sound comes through the keyhole to you. You cannot get that feeling with a computer screen, but on a large screen, it feels like it comes out of the keyhole towards you.
That is beyond brilliance. Thank you very much, Ike. I truly appreciate you. This is what I love about poets, y'all. Like we truly go all the way in on our creativity, right? So he brought in an opera singer to sing in Italian, which he spoke in Italian, right? And I asked that because it sounds so very similar to Spanish, right? And then I happen to know that he not only reads and writes, but speaks German, which means that's three. There's probably a plethora of other languages that's laying dormant in Ike Waltz, not to mention he speaks music and dance. Listen, That is something that we will not forget for some time. Thank you. Thank you. That is genius in motion, and we all love to see it. Before we move on, let me shout out a couple of folks. I saw a Garland Thompson. I saw a Justin Robinson. Jamisha Rhodes is here. I appreciate you for coming through. Melinda Lucas, who continues to come through and rock with us. Always appreciate your energy. I saw Kamara in the building. Mia Aguilera, who I mentioned earlier. Always appreciate Mia. Like I said, make sure you are sending healing energy to Mia. I saw her in Aurora, Patton, and Jay Murphy. Listen, your energy is truly, truly appreciated here and necessary for us to do what we do. Again, I mentioned some people do this, but we do this. Coming up next, another incredible storyteller. I continue to say the most eloquent writer I know in the world, all the way from the UK, the one and only Lantern Carriers in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you online. Listen, it is always a treat. It is always a pleasure to share in your artistry. Please, take it away.
Thank you, brother. The Seeker's Journey. I am a seeker, walking along the road of light. I walk in darkness, unconscious like a sheep in choppy waters of the invisible beacon of love, illuminating a pathway to the great unknown. Caught in the laws of struggle, I become entangled in webs of suffering, creating an illusionary mesh, forgetting due to numerous mundane desires that I am infinitely greater than spiders. Yes, I am a wayfarer indeed, a mariner sailing upon boisterous waters, striving to find my way home. Yet the spark which I am has entered this world arena for experience, trying consciously or unconsciously to manifest a greater light and to bring forth the excellence of being. It is all love's lila, a divine game, and I am its puppet. I head into an illusion of entanglements, slowly but surely learning life lessons. I struggle with limitations, teaching me that I am not in charge, that the master alchemist pulls the strings, that I am an instrument of perennial grandeur, sailing to my golden shore. Love is a life tree with many branches. There are also the flowers of family, tribe, and culture, the search for identity, the desire to be appreciated, to cohabit, to stay alive. There is the branch of science, running side by side along the river of life's mystery, which has taken me to where I am today. That is to say, electronics and technology, the things I need to live, surveillance and sabotage, to secure my own safety and self-interest, constantly pushing aside the experience of the saviors I claim to love, like Lord Krishna, Buddha, Christ, all speaking of love and the need for compassion. I hold on to an illusionary freedom that instructs on a telephone, now cell phone, World Wide Web, while pestilences and tsunamis force my discovery of vaccines, a Zoom that almost transforms my work and social experiences overnight. Aviation and the biggest game changer of all, artificial intelligence. Oh souls, how far I've come. In my search for identity, I hold on to ancestors, mortals like me who also endured struggle, striving to find my DNA. Yet have not arrived. I'm still sojourning, pushing and pulling like an MMA fighter or wrestler, having accepted so much toxicity as the norm, allowing me to become complacent, neglecting the one thing that matters, the experiences of the soul and the love that must be embodied and shared with kindred spirits to find my way home. Para encontrar el camino a casa, find my way home. Lantern Carrier, thank you.
It just feels like an immense exhale, does it not? Unmute yourself. Give it up for Lantern Carrier.
Wow, that was beautiful. Lovely, lovely.
Beautiful flow, my brother.
Lovely,
Beautiful
beautiful.
flow. I hear you.
Lovely.
I feel you.
Awesome.
I see you.
Yes, absolutely lovely, man.
Great
Perfect.
I'm not here to fight.
So listen, so here's the thing, right? When you come across a poet like Lantern Carrier, who, like a lot of you, all right, I'm not singling out Lantern, but a lot of you dig all the way into the prompts, you always surprise me. And I'm thankful for you. And I love you that much more every week, because I really put in work to try to come up with something that will inspire you. And the beauty of it is you end up inspiring me. You know what I mean? Like that's the dialogue here. Yo, like I'm hoping to inspire you and you end up inspiring me. Like, I love y'all so much. I'm biased though, because I've been rocking with y'all for a while. But you're the dopest. Like, for real. Even the title, Lantern, you called it The Seeker's Journey. Right? Illuminating pathway to the greater knowing. Is that not what we do? Right? Is that not what we are charged to do as poets? Translate, transform these informational pieces that people just think, oh my God, are crazy, into something that you can say, wow, I got that. I got that. I think we're so far past the WWW. Hear me when I say this. I think we are so far past the WWW phase that we have lost the sight of the aspect that it is a world wide web that truly connects us all. It's a world wide web, a web. So here's my question. Who's the damn spider? So coming up next, coming up next is an incredible poet and storyteller in her own right. Continues to come and share her incredible energy with us. I love when this poet comes through because her voice is so on point. The one and only Marianne Teft is in the building. Let these folks know how they can connect with you online. Like I said, it's always great to see you. Please take it away.
Good evening, Elemental and poet friends. I'm having some trouble with my Wi-Fi this evening, so I'm not sure if you hear me. I'm
All right, is anyone else having issues hearing Marianne? Yeah.
Can't hear her. Yeah, she disappeared.
Goodness. I hate that. I hate that. But listen, this is the beauty of our community, right? Because you will see that this is not just everybody just plugged into something great, right? Marianne lives on an island, right? Again, I'm talking about this is a global community. Marianne lives on an island, and sometimes her signal is not 100% strong enough for her to share her poetry. But guess what? We will stay and remain because her poetry, her artistry, her creativity is just that important, right? It truly is, right? Marianne, let's see if we can do it. Let's see if we can do it. How is the universal alignment going to allow us to hear your poetry this evening?
Yes, it is.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Please take it away.
Thank you. Thank you. I have been struggling with the outer bands of the just past Hurricane Tammy. Thank you, Elemental, for the introduction, and poet friends. Turning Point Tech. I had to put down the tech part because I wanted to focus on turning points. Because there are those moments in life where you look back and you know everything changed. The moment you cross that line, oozing salt from every pore, till they ask you if you fell in the dirt along the way. And they wrap that silver blanket around you after 4 hours, 36 minutes, and 26.2 miles. And you know from now on, you will always be strong enough. The moment you see that little face, that little blonde, blue-eyed face that you met in 7 ultrasound photos, the last one just last night, now eyes locked to yours before she turns eagerly to your breast to fill her body for the first time with all the milk and love you have to share. And you know from now on, you will always fight hard enough. That moment, you will wait your turn to expose your soft inner side and words to the world and a voice you have admired for so many weeks now turns to you and gives you one of those gifts that every poet treasures. I'm glad I'm reading before you. And you know from now on, you will always point your pen toward the sky and your best will always be enough. And that moment, you turn your head to listen more closely as a most intriguing admission. Heart yearning, heart temptation flows from a heart and lips that you will come to cherish and desire like the ocean craves the shore. And in that moment, you know you will always choose for this love, and this love will always be enough.
And this is why we make time for our community members, because we get a chance to hear something like that. Unmute yourself, give it up for Marianne.
Beautiful.
Congratulations.
Wow. Wow.
Thank you
So
so much.
beautiful. So sweetly beautiful, man.
Yeah.
For real. Yes, it was, man. Wow.
Thank you.
So I want to point out something very, very particular. Marianne, you said the island that you live on has been dealing with hurricane. Yes? So here's the thing about that, y'all. Even in the midst of a natural disaster, poetry exists. Poetry stands firm, right? Which would make us the eye of the storm. Because usually that's the one thing that survives. Yes? It is the eye, which sometimes is the strongest point, but also is the most calm. We are chaos and calm in the same address. I'm telling you, y'all are phenomenal. Y'all are like for real. I love how you brought in your baby, right? Shout out the daughters of the world. You said that little face that I've come to love in these 7 sonogram pictures. If you have children, you know exactly what that means, right? You said you were sharing with them all, or with her, all the milk and love that you have to share. There's something about that. I got babies, right? Shout out all my babies, right? Princess, Mouse, Big Time, and Boo Boo. All my babies, for real. That's not their real names, right? However, shout out all my babies because, you know, hey, that's what it is, right? And Ren, listen, there's something about that. I cannot do what you do. I'm a father. You are a mother. There's only so many things that a mother can do, that a father can do, but I guarantee you, I can't do what you do. You are one of a kind. and you nurture your children in a way that fathers never can. So thank you for being a dedicated mother. Also, as I mentioned, shout out the educators in the building, right? Every mother is an educator, right? And every educator ends up being a mother or a father figure in some way. Thank you for doing what you do and staying dedicated to it. One more poet, and I'm gonna pass it to my dopest tech in the Zoom verse, right? This next poet, let me tell you, I got the beautiful opportunity to meet him and the planet that exists within his solar system. This next poet, I can guarantee you, did not come here to tap dance. He has rocked with the best of them and destroyed the rest of them. Evolved in a way that poets should. And if you don't know, you're about to find out. The one and only Ngoma is in the building. Let these folks know how they can find you online. It is always a pleasure, brother. Please take it away.
Hello, everybody. How y'all doing? So I got like two pieces, right? I practice the African traditional religion known as Ifa or Isheshe. And this is called a poet's prayer to Obatala. Epa, Obatala, king of creation, he who is owner of the white cloth, owner of thoughts and dreams, Lord of earth. I come to you in this time and place. I give homage for your blessings, your guidance, and your protection. The divination stated that it is my destiny to channel your message. Wrap me in your white cloth. Protect me from my enemies. Give me wisdom, calmness, and understanding. Use my body, mind, and my spirit to speak peace and harmony into existence. In these days of turmoil and confusion, give me patience. Anoint me with clarity as pure as your white cloth to save humans from destruction. O chief of the sacred grove, owner of Ori, give me strength to light the darkness. He who creates at will, I bring to you snail and pounded yam, shea butter and a white hen. I ask Eshu to open the way. I ask Oya, let peace and justice come on the wind. I sing my song for you, Mofori Ballet. I place my head to the ground. Anyway, second poem. This is new shit, yeah. You can hear me, right? Searching for freedom. I be looking for freedom, but she be hiding out. I wasn't even going to write about freedom, but Dune dared me to do it, damn it. See, freedom is elusive. Not many, if any, have seen her lately, but the planet Earth is a dangerous place these days. Most of the world is poor and freedom ain't free. She's got a price tag on her head and not many are willing nor able to pay. I was told I could find freedom on other continents, but there are rulers every place you go with wars of good against evil. It's beginning to look like Armageddon, all in the name of unseen gods and distorted history that all depends on who wrote it. So be very careful. There are those that paint the map of Al-Qaeda upside down and many souls lost to destiny. Meanwhile, I'm still searching for freedom. I hear she's barefoot and starving in Palestine. She's hiding in a bunker in the Ukraine. Someone told her that the US Congress was kidnapped by MAGAs, so she's fasting and meditating, believing in that old time religion, praying to Ogun to set us free.
Oh, that that type of shit just cause a ruckus, man. Unmute yourself, give it up for Ngoma.
Ngoma.
Thank you so much for
Woo! Tap dance. He did not come to tap
mentioning
dance.
Palestine.
Just,
Thank you for mentioning
Those poems were
Palestine.
amazing. Those poems were amazing, sir.
Thank you for
Absolutely.
mentioning Palestine. I
Poems were
appreciate
amazing. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
you. I get excited, y'all, for real. I'm the cat that gets excited about shit like that, for real. I really am. Like, Tommy Frazier, John Carlos, 1968, Mexico City, right? If that was a poem, it would probably sound like Ngoma, right? Because of some of the things that he just mentioned, right? He mentioned faith, right? He was praying in that first poem, right? To the King of creation, the Lord of earth, right? It is my destiny to channel your message. Like, come on, man. Only a dedicated few would even feel like that, would even accept that and be willing to step in that realm, right? To be a chief of the sacred grove of information, even, right? Shale and pounded yam. Yeah, man. I'm the pounded yam jumped out to me, right? Because I'm reading Chinua Achebe's book, right? Things Fall Apart. Right? If you're not familiar, I suggest that you do, right? Chinua Achebe, right? In the second piece, you mentioned freedom is elusive, right? Freedom ain't free. If you listen to some of the truest, right? Freedom comes at the ultimate cost, which is the cost of blood, right? And I need all of you to understand that these poems you hear are written in that same freedom. That same freedom that we fight for is the same ink that we use to write these poems. I appreciate all y'all so much. Damn it, I don't mean to go so far, but I like y'all are so amazing, man, for real. Like I can't help myself, for real. Like I'm just that bad. All right, so before we move on to the next poet, I will pass it to the dopest tech in the Zoomverse, the one and only Ron Mark Thompson, aka RMT. If you're not down with RMT by now, damn it, you should be. Ron, tell them how you feeling this evening.
Hey, thank you so much, Elemental. I'm actually battling my migraine this evening. This is why I haven't been so much on camera and audio, but I'm always happy to be here on both Mondays and Thursdays, supporting you, supporting our other hosts. So you guys, inspire me, especially the next performer, Eddie, who we're going to get to in a second. Eddie always makes me feel good. And I also want to give a shout out to Melinda Lucas in the chat. She wrote, how much Ike Waltz's piece inspired her and how much, everyone else. So, this is exactly why we're here for. Yeah. And you are my medicine, all of you. So thank you so much for being here on Mondays. Well, what an amazing theme. It's funny how Elemental at the beginning mentioned, all the different technologies, back in the days, fax machines and, the old cell phones. And I almost wanted to put as a joke, well, what about cave, drawings, but I'm not that old. Okay, so here goes my comedy bit career. It never lands. So that's it. That's it. All right. So allow me to quickly share the screen. For those who do not know me yet by now, I am Ron Mark Thompson. I am one of the programs and operations assistants at the New Rican Poets Cafe. And also I work as the tech assistant at some of the in-person programs, as well as the weekly and monthly online programs, such as this online open mic hosted by Elemental. As Elemental did mention, we are closing the current building. We will be turning 50 this year, the New Rican Poets Cafe, in about a week and a half. But the building that we are in is about 100 years old, and it needs a major reconstruction. So we we will be closing the building after Halloween. You heard us saying it. We're going to give you more information, after this. But in the meantime, for this week, and next Monday, we will continue our in-person programs at the New Rican Poets Cafe, which is located at 236 East 3rd Street in Manhattan, New York City. The current on-site open mic at the cafe is winding down, hosted by Rice Felicia. Next Monday, Saul Preem will return to host the last incarnation before the reconstruction of the building on Monday evening, 8 p.m. This Wednesday Night Poetry Slam, 8 p.m., DB will be hosting the last Wednesday Slam. On Friday, Jive will be hosting the last Friday Night Slam, 10 p.m., followed by the last Twilight open room, open mic, hosted by Chauvet, which starts right after the Friday Night Slam, which means it's around Saturday morning, 12:30 a.m., 1 a.m., in case you're in New York City and you want to stop by. Get your tickets faster, by the way, because last Friday was sold out, and we're nearing, for both the Wednesday and Friday night slams, we are nearing the selling out point as well for the tickets. So even though we you can always get your tickets at the door, but for those very last events, tickets are flying, fast. So go and get them. If you can make it to either of those, but you're free on Thursday, we will be hosting our last Jazz Gria. John Howard Algarin, the nephew of our co-founder Miguel Algarin. He will be presenting his jazz band, and Kenny, our bartender, will also be serving sangria. Tickets for that are only $5 this Thursday, 7 p.m. Our executive director, Labrua, will be performing with the band, and I will be working in the tech booth, which is a good segue for about a minute from now. We will have a guest host and a guest tech assistant at the online open mic. I'll get to that in a second. But in the meantime, if you're in New York City, check us out Thursday. Then on Sunday, the last salsa jam of this month and before the building's reconstruction, October 29th, 7 p.m. The tickets are $10. We open the doors at 7 p.m. and the show starts at 8 p.m. And Labrua, our executive director, will also be performing there. In case you didn't know, she, in addition to being a great director of our cafe, she's also a wonderful poet, singer, and actress. 2 days ago, she hosted her last production in the current New Rican Poets Cafe of her stage play from Puerto Rico, and it was just amazing. She is gonna bring it together with the New Rican Poets Cafe to different places. So just stay tuned, and we will let you know where we'll go with all of this. And then, last but not least, next week on Halloween, October 31st, in the New Rican Poets Cafe on East 3rd Street in Manhattan, from 4 to 7, we will be presenting a free haunted house. So bring your children, bring yourself, and check us out. Then we're going to close the doors and we're going to reopen them for a ticketed event at 10 p.m. And that one will be performances, open mic, music, and we will do games and prizes. So check us out if you can make it. This will be the last event before we close the building the next day. But we will continue our online open mics for the time being. Stay tuned, in case that changes. Elemen2al will continue his Monday night online open mics every Monday, 8 p.m. And Labrua will continue hosting the Thursday night online open mic every Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern time, except this Thursday. Big shout out to Deadpan Lizzie for guest hosting last week. And this Thursday, we have none other than our own Matthew Marroquin guest hosting the Thursday night online open mic. You may remember Matthew. He is our hype engineer from our Voices and Vibes karaoke and vocal open mic, and you may have seen him hosting workshops and other programs. So please welcome him on Thursday. And in my absence, Elemen2al will be stepping in as the guest tech assistant. Thank you so much, Elemen2al, for helping out. Beatniks Online, we will also continue that monthly online. All those online programs live stream as well. I kept the slide here up for a few seconds so you can see all the Zoom ID, all the information. In Zoom, I pasted the information a few minutes ago. It's the same Zoom ID every Monday, every Thursday, and Beatniks also uses the same recurring Zoom ID. Let me see what the next slide is. Oh, here we go. For any of our current last in-person events and continuing our online events, as you got your August RSVP ticket, continue to go to our ticket calendar site. If you don't have the actual ci.ovation ticks URL bookmarked, you can always just go to our website, neoregan.org, click on full events calendar, choose the date and time for an August RSVP ticket. It's 24 hours before the online open mic. Most of you know the procedures. You made it today. Would you like to be added to our mailing list? If you haven't yet received our mailings, the next one will go out tomorrow. Just scan the QR code here, enter your first and last name. For the Zoom participants, I will put that in the chat in the next minute. And here we go with all of our social media handles, website. I also put La Brua's Instagram handle, Elemen2al's a new Instagram profile, our link tree, and as Elemen2al mentioned, if you want to help us out, contribute, donate, so we may continue to bring you, especially our online programs for free, please visit neoregan.org/contribute, and there you may donate and help us out. So again, thank you everyone for continuing to support us, for keep coming back for this wonderful, amazing technology theme, which obviously fits to my work that I'm doing. I'm going to write to that in some other week, and I'll bring you that poem down the road. That's a good teaser. But in the meantime, let me unmute our next Poetastic. Yeah, he just renamed himself. I see at Poetastic, our wonderful Poetastic poet, who's gonna make me feel even better than I'm already feeling, thanks to all of you guys. Ed, thank you so much for being here. You know how it goes. Let everyone know where we may follow you. The next 3 minutes are all yours. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you want to know about me, please look in the chat so you know where it's at. And Rob, you are a medicine too. Thank you for pushing on through. And remember that we love you. Elemental too. My name is Ed Potastical, feeling fantastic. Please get in time to enjoy my rhyme for Sublime. The theme is a game changer. Well, a good game changer has to be fear. So here's my fear poem. Fear, the creature in the dark, hiding beneath your bed. That fear reached our hearts, nestled inside our heads, shivers as sharp as darts, body heavy as lead, ripping us apart, wishing we were dead. Here's an inner start. You can't forget what's been said. Here's a rational fact. You're not having a heart attack. In all, it's really whack. Don't add, but subtract. Don't let it stack. You are still intact. You can still act. You are not under contract. You can still adapt. You can always backtrack. It's not an attack. Please don't overreact. A matter of fact, you can always unpack. No, it's not a wisecrack. Live, fail, learn, and grab a snack. Things aren't always black. It's just an abstract for an impact. Thank you.
Listen, Eddie never ceases to amaze. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Eddie Foreman.
Yeah, that was slick. That was slick. That was slick. I like that, man. Word.
Fantastic.
Always the wonderful one.
Listen, don't let Eddie fool you. All right. I heard Eddie get down recently, and I was like, damn it, Eddie been studying. All right, Eddie got different registers to his voice. I'm telling you, if you don't know, you better learn about it. Listen, I appreciate you, Eddie, for always coming through, right? Your rhymes are always on point, man. For real. Like every time you show up in this joint, your rhymes are on point. Like I implore anyone to try to think of another poet who comes through with a rhyme who's always on point more so than Poetastic. Just saying. I've been around for a while. Poetastic's always got his rhyme locked on tight. Just saying, right? Here's a rational fact. Did you not say that? Here's a rational fact. Poetastic will be back with all of that rhyme action. Because that's what he does. Right? It's his pleasure, his satisfaction. Appreciate you, Eddie. Truly, truly. Of course, all love and respect for Ron Mark Thompson, aka RMT. That dude truly loves what he does, right? And we continue to benefit from his love and passion for what he does. So I appreciate you, Ron. Truly. Coming up next, I mentioned this planet earlier when I was talking to Baba and Goma. This is the planet that continues to orbit and circulate around Ngoma's planet. This next poet is beyond, because they stay dedicated to and focused on the creativity of the ages. Listen, let me tell you, if you're not ready, then make sure you get ready. The one and only Oshuna Yen is here. Please let these folks know where they can find you online. It is always such a pleasure. Always such a pleasure. Please take it away.
Thank you. Now, really, the main reason I came on here tonight is to do this poem. October is National Domestic Violence Awareness Month. I'm going to do another one of this, but everyone seems to have forgotten about that. In America, there is a woman beaten every 9 seconds. That number has not changed in 20 years. Thank God it hasn't gone up, but it hasn't gone down either. But anyway, this poem addresses that. Not addresses it, but speaks on it. A man living in his power protects, produces, and provides. But he only understood red fear and brutal beatings as his power. He was easy on the eyes, hard on the heart. Granite fists sink into soft flesh, violating veins, pounding in blue and blackish purple bruises as visual testaments to his irrational fury. Shattered bones splinter her soul, argue with her sanity, looking for a reason or an excuse, anything, for this war to have invaded her body and side saddle on her soul. He had devastating weapons of mass destruction. She had love, or so she thought. Crying, he says, I love you so much. You're mine. If you weren't, I'm sorry, baby, I lost it. If you weren't so damn fine, I wouldn't have done this. I don't want to lose you. Silent, she plans. An icy rage clarifies her thoughts. She swallows her own blood, smiles with no emotion, and thinks, you've got to sleep sometime. Okay, now my second piece is speaking more to the power of a woman. It's called Conjure Woman. Conjure Woman. Ielarisha, mistress of the spirit world, she knows millennia-old prescriptions to heal your soul and solve your problems. More than mojo, beyond juju. In the ancient tradition, first, she says, feed the ancestors. Cracked and chipped plates piled high with your grandparents' and great-grandparents' favorite food on your ancestral altar. A bottle of spirits and a bowl of water, because there's no life without water. Second, she murmurs, a bush bath. The ritual origins of baptism. Wash an omiero, an herb-infused water. Yes, water. Always water. Water is the enemy of no one. Douse yourself 3 times 3 over your head to purify your soul. Third, she whispers, a trip to the crossroads at midnight when deepest dark turns to the light. Libations to Legba, who turns the key and opens the way. Red palm oil, rum, honey, 21 coins, dried fish, light from a candle, a white cloth for day, a black cloth for night, and red for all the times in between. And water, always water, because there's no life without water. Yes, she knows the mysteries. Conjure woman, she who possesses age-old prescriptions taught by the elders and inscribed on her soul to turn your life from wanting to having, from poor to prosperous, from grief to joy, from chaos to divine order. Conjure woman, in her veins runs ancient rivers, rivers of culture, rivers of spirits, rivers of magic that gives ashe to birth, that gives her the ashe to midwife your dreams. Conjure woman. Yeah.
Ma'am, and you are indeed one of them. Unmute yourself, give it up for Hoshudo, yeah!
Awesome. Conjure woman.
Wow.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
And always a pleasure.
So beautiful. Absolutely beautiful, man. Yes, yes.
This is what I truly love about poets, is because we can destroy stereotypes, right? Because you mentioned all of the beautiful things that they normally show when it comes to women, particularly women of color, who are invested in said arts, right? You think of just that, right? But I love the fact that in that piece, you go into curandera, right? You go into the shaman space. You go into the bruja space, right? You go into the space that says she is a mistress of the spirit world, is she not? Right? We have all gone to see one of them, right? In some form or fashion. Wait. I'm coming back at you. I'm coming back at you, Queen. I'm coming back at you because I feel like you need to correct me on something, please.
Yes. What we practice isn't bruja. It's not bruja. It's a person. What we do is we invoke the forces and elements of the universe to accomplish our will. If you're a good person at, you do it as it is in accord with the will of heaven. The will of heaven mandates no injury to anyone else. Now, there are plenty of people who have that same use of those forces who will do harm to anybody, but that's not what most of us practice. I don't care where you are. If you're in a church, you're in a mosque, you're in a synagogue, you're on the street, you find bad people everywhere. That's not limited to us, but it's not bruja. It's spiritual work. That's the best way I can put it.
One more time, it's what kind of work?
Spiritual work.
Spiritual work. It's spiritual work. Thank you.
Yeah, we start with the spirit, because when you have all those other problems, the problem starts in your own spirit, and that's what we try to correct and balance out.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Queen. I appreciate that. All what I gather from that is that it all starts with one. It all starts right here, yes? It all starts right here, right? Without self-awareness, without self-being, you can't recognize anyone, right? My father used to tell me all the time, you can't help anyone until you can help yourself, right? So I have taken that and said, you can't even recognize anyone until you recognize yourself as the power you are, right? You can't. Thank you 100% for reminding us that it is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, right? I am a product of that. I have seen it. I have lived in it. I have survived through it. And thank you for reminding that. If any of you know anyone or if any of you are dealing with that, please shed your fear. Excuse me, shed your fear of it. Reach out to someone. She mentioned every 9 seconds. Every 9 seconds. That's not acceptable, folks. That's not acceptable. The last time I checked, please correct me if I'm wrong. The last time I checked, there was only one being on this earth that could give life. Only one. Disrespect it if you want to. We will cease to exist. Thank you, Oshuna Yin, for reminding us the power that we will, right? The rituals of baptism, right? The red palm oil, it's always water. It's always water. It's always water. Yes, it's always water. It's always water. Flow. Flow with it. It's power, strength. Flow with it. Thank you. Thank you so much for doing what you do and reminding us of all the things that are important. We appreciate you. Coming up next, I always get to yell at folk because he can take it. And I can say, damn it, Maze, don't funk this up, Maze. Listen, you are about to witness someone who does this at an extremely high level. And I know we have this issue about, oh, I don't want to follow that because it's so heavy, or I can't go and do what that person does. Let me tell you something. Everybody exists as they should, right? There are going to be people that rock at different levels than you, right? However, you are powerful. Y'all have heard my closing. You've heard it, right? Here's just another example. Coming up next, the razor blade that razor blade shade with. Shout out the veterans in the building. Let me tell you, there are poets that do this, and there are poets that fucking do this. This is the one and only CP Maze. Let these folks know where they can find you online, Maze. Also, host of Bottoms Up, a PGN hosted event every second and fourth Sunday, I believe. Make sure these folks know what it is, folks. Come on, man. Take it away.
Hey, everybody. Second and fourth Sundays, I'm the new crazy host. So, we might have semi-nudity, a couple clowns, Jesus might pop up, smoke a blunt. I don't know. Like, who knows what might happen on the second and fourth Sunday. Come holler at your boy. I have 2 poems for you. One's a golden shovel. And the golden shovel is ending every line of verse with the word that you've chosen to quote from another poet's poem. Here's my example. The quote was, "Love is a drug you can abuse and overdose or use and overcome." Daniel Ramos. 1, Karma hung herself from a Bible belt like fuck God for not allowing karma to show Jesus any true love. Faith had too many relationships on the rocks and was cardiac arrested for swerving in and out of crisis. And while, praise God, and time again we're getting high, their hallelujahs slipped into a coma. Religion's beating dead horses and Gertrude Bierstein's like it's a rose is a rose and its drug is a drug too. True love's marriage vows was like a vowel of A-I-O-U, and sometimes it's why I see me in you. His messages in bottles were really Post-it notes in relationships. That's why wine when beer cans. So he took them for granted, has 2 jail and please forgive me pleads, pleading guilty to spousal abuse. She left a love note on her one-night stand signed, sincerely any port in the storm. P.S. Here I stand. 3. Tell fuck it, I'd fuck it till it overdose. 4 or 5 times until it's out of use. 6. My brainstorms are serving life without parole for its convictions, and I don't really understand. 7. Writer's block is to editor's circle as undergo is to overcome. Golden Shovel. And I have another quick poem. It's a sonnet. It's called Semper Fidelis. Marines equals Semper Fidelis, equal Latin, equals always faithful, equals 30 rounds of faithfulness, equals fresh out of give a fucks in magazines, no subscriptions or addresses outside of downrange needed, equals Jesus Christ charge carding us heaven with taxes and fees excluded. Beware of boogeymen keeping timeshares in lion dens. Beware, scalping tickets to cross the river Styx leaves boatsmen pissed. Be aware, you either be damned to death or be damn good at dying. Beware shells burn like STDs as M16 switches 3-round bursts into semis. The few proud, brave my Marines left me 2 murder trials, please, at 500 yards. Naked eye, no scope, no hope, gods, please. Father, Son, Holy Ghost collection plates are just bar tabs, please. Jim Beam, Jack Daniels, Jose Cuervo, please, bartender, please. Can't apply prayers, scriptures, band-aids on shotgun wounds equal pleads. Damn if we didn't step on toes when dancing with the devil equal Semper Fi, equal I love pleased. Thank you, guys.
God damn it, Semper Fi. Unmute yourself. Give it up for CP, man.
Wow, man. Wow. Wow. Always the fire. Always bringing the fire, man.
Love
Love your work, man.
Yes,
Great
yes,
work.
yes,
Tackling
yes,
art.
yes.
Bring us a new form.
Does it again.
Yes, yes,
The
yes.
crazy part is,
There's poets, then there's CP Mays. Then
I'm starting to hear you poets in my head when I write. I'm starting to hear like little voices in my head when I write. And I know it's coming from all of y'all. So I have to literally shut my brain off and be like, no Ike today, Mays. No Ike today, Mays. You cannot be Ike today, Mays. So like I have to shut off different parts of my brain. But you guys are helping me become a better me. And I can't say thank you enough for that. Thank you enough.
There you go. There you go.
You see how this guy does? You see why I mentioned at the top of the show, this is the greatest community in the world. And if you need more reason, here comes another one. If you need any more reason, here comes another one. His name is CP Mays. You already heard from the daughter of Krypton. You already heard from Ike Waltz and Doug Silver and Oshuna Yen, right? And the Magus and Paul Skiff, right? And you have yet to hear from Liz Manette. You have yet to hear from Zomkonto. You have yet to hear from Kazi Kas. You have yet to hear from CCR Chagra. And these people continue to show you why Semper Fidelis, though it may be a motto of the Marine Corps, right? Shout out the Marines in the building. If you are not always faithful to what you do, why are you doing it? Just saying. Just saying, because then you need to come across golden shovels that's either helping you break new ground or digging you a deeper grave, right? He said, love is a drug that you can use or overdose. Damn it, I hate that you do that, Maze. You always do that, right? She left a note on her one-night stand. Like, come on, man. Right? Tell fuck it. I'd fucking till it overdosed. Oh man. Oh man. Listen. For real. I've always said writer's block writer's block is nothing but pieces to build the castle that you're working on, right? If you ever have writer's block, come holler at me and we'll build a new structure. That's just what it is. 3-round burst to semi, right? I know some of y'all don't understand that's a military thing. Collection plates are just bar tabs. Stop that. Stop that, sir. Stop that, sir. Stop that. Stop that. Stop that, sir. I'm telling you, you're gonna start a war. You're gonna start a war. Once your life on this plane of existence is over, you're gonna start a war. I'm just saying. Just saying. Coming up next, our resident musician is in the building. This guy, this incredible poet, this incredible writer continues to come through and share his music, share his voice in everything that he does. Where did CC get to? There he is. There he is. And listen, we might as well call this cat the man in black with the hat, right? He's quickly becoming our Johnny Cash, if you will.
Oh,
right? This dude is coming with it every single time. The one and only CC Arshagra in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you. It is always great to see you and hear what you have for us. Please take it away.
The hat, that's just my Linus with a blanket. That's all it is. So anyway, yeah, I'm gonna try something that's new, and so it's not ready yet, and I'm still working on it. But I want to thank you all because that's how I started doing this here. You know, I'm really a poet, and I really love words. And when I first said I'm just a lyric writer, you guys gave me a rash of shit. So I'm loving it. I'm trying to deal with it. But yeah, lyric writing is my thing. And so if you have a voice out there and you're looking for words, don't forget me, because that's what I really want to do. Is I want to get these down into sheet music and hand it off. But yeah, so this is actually a song that's been worked and reworked, and just now I just butchered it, put it back together for tonight. Because instead of doing one of the three that I'm now comfortable with, and I'm actually going out and there's grand pianos, and for the first time in my life, I'm sitting down and playing at open mics live where there's pianos, and that's all your fault. So hug yourselves. So this one is called The Garden Now, and I'm probably gonna sing it because that's where it comes into singing it, and I don't know. Under your skin is where you'll find your home. When you open your heart, you'll know you're not alone. There's nothing to hide here. No past owns your soul. When what happened was a seed took root, and so your life was sold. But it's your garden now. It's your gardening of now. It's your gardens now. You are the garden now. Hear your reactions are your own reflections. Now you're the other, and the other is you. The madness ends when your dreams don't go to to war. When gratitude lives, love becomes your soul's song. As the light you are rains on down on the choices you are. Under your skin is where you find your home. When you open your heart, you know you're not alone. There's nothing to hide here, no past owns your soul. What happened was a seed took root, and so your life was sowed. But it's your garden now. It's your gardening of now. It's your gardens now. You are the garden now.
Yes, you are, sir, and you continue to bloom beautiful flowers of inspiration. Unmute yourself, give it up for CC.
Always,
Our
as
child
always,
groom.
as always.
Great job. Beautiful.
Very
Yes.
nice, very lovely, very sweet,
Yeah.
man. Very beautiful, man. Word, word. Very nice.
Thank you, everyone.
As
Thank
always,
you.
as
You
always.
truly are inspirational. Everyone. Something I do this all day long, and I come on here, and what you guys hear, it didn't happen. The other it just happens here.
No, you know what? I love the fact that you just said that, CC. I love the fact that you just said that. And I continue to say every week, right? This is the greatest community in the world. But you just heard a member of our community express the fact that every time we get on here, it's different, right? Right? I'm one of those poets that practice my poetry before I get down, right? I'll write it, I'll practice it. So when I come to deliver it, it's on point. But it's always different because the energy of each one of these boxes, the energy of each and every poet in here changes how I deliver my poem every single time, right? You mentioned, CC, under your skin is where you find your soul, right? And I think that is so heavy because once you get past the expected, then you get to the actual, right? Thank you for being that vulnerable, for using your lyrics to really express true feeling, right? As the Jedi Master said, this is Inferno Night. It truly is, because everybody in here turns up the heat every single time. Whew! Coming up next, no different. This poet reached out to me recently. I am glad that he is back. I know that he recently had surgery, I believe, on his knee, and I'm glad that it's all working out in a positive way. The only one and only Kazi Kaz in the building. If you are not familiar with Kazi Kaz, this cat's incredible. All right, let these folks know where they can find you online, Kazi Kaz. Great to see you, man. Hopefully you're recovering in the best of ways, right? Please, take it away, man.
There we go. Okay.
There we go.
All
There
right.
we go. Let's
Thanks.
do it. Let's do it.
What's up, man? Hello, everybody. I hope everybody is good. Yes, Elemental, as you know, I did suffer, but I am recovering from this knee surgery. So day by day, man. But I have been kind of at a pause with creating new stuff. And so like tonight's piece, it's not exactly maybe possibly completely on theme, but maybe it could be seen like as an abstract, you know what I mean? It's abstractly on theme, because a lot of the issues that I cover in this piece, I mean, I guess one could say they're like effects of technological causation, if you will. So I titled this piece, Pensive Ponderings. So without further ado, I present to you Pensive Ponderings. Do y'all know what I be thinking about? I be thinking about my kids. I be thinking about when I was a kid. I think about success, money, health. I think about my mom. I think about the future. I think about being loved. I think about the past. I think about women. I think about her. I think about football, sex, beer. I think about music, poetry. I think about a sunset's beauty. I think about happiness. I think about my dog, weed, friends. I think about laughter, peace, unity. I think about humanity. I think about humans and all other animals as well. I think about hopelessness. I think about senselessness. I think about failure. I think about rejection, pain, agony, despair. I think about homelessness, disease. I think about racism. I think about chaos. I think about deceit, enemies. I think about futility. I think about fatherless children, the drug epidemic. I think about the apocalypse. I think about Tide Pods. I think about global warming, polar bears, Uncle Sam. I think about closed-mindedness, jealousy. I think about violence, police brutality, misunderstandings. I think about injustice, hatred, cruelty, suffering, evil, abuse. I think about flipping out. I think about prison. I think about escaping. I think about giving up. I think about refusing to give up. I think about the world. I think about utopia. I think about revolution. I think about our origin. I think about truth. I think about why. I think about the vastness of space. I think about the sun, moon, the universe. I think about the outside of the box. I think about the stars. I think about my dad. I think about reciprocity, courtesy, consideration, sympathy, kindness, sweetness, sharing. I think about being held. I think about hope. I think about life. I think about love. To tell you the truth, I really don't think too much about anything. Thank you.
Have I said recently that I love poets? Have I screamed at you recently that I love poets? Because damn it, I love poets. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Kazi Khan.
Kazi, yeah.
Fantastic.
Outside the box.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's my winner. I think about outside the box.
All of it. All of it. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I think about how dope you are.
I felt
Thank you.
emotional.
Oh,
God.
thank you so much. Thank you.
No, no. Thank you for
Means
that.
so much, man. Thank you so much.
I think
Thank
about
you.
when you dropped that heavy line, you picked it up
It
right
hit
in the next line.
right in my soul. It reached right in my soul. Thank you.
Think about how much poetry is healing. How about y'all?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Right? So when I hear poems like that, right, I automatically think of all of that energy. When you say that, right, and you even heard your colleagues, Kaz, right, talk about, oh, yeah, it is healing, right? So all the energy we share with each other, just like I say at the top of the show, right? When you see that pop up on your screen, all of that energy is not just for hype, right? All of that energy actually goes into helping these poets to heal, y'all, right? Kaz mentioned a great word. I know I don't mention it very often, but he mentioned a great word. He said reciprocity, right? That is what you owe your colleagues as poets, is reciprocity. And what that looks like for you as audience members is, yeah, right? It looks like new shit, right? It looks like, oh my goodness, that cat's incredible, right? Because as he said, I think about flipping out, right? I think about prison. I think about the outside of the box. That's what we're here for, y'all. Outside of the box, right? Just like we say, folks who know me, there is no spoon. There is no inside of the box. What? Blasphemous. You blasphemous bastard, you. Appreciate you for always coming through and rocking with us, Kaz. For real. For real. Also, shout out Kate. Hopefully you are feeling better. Sending all my healing energy and vibes to Kate. Also said, you know, great Scott, a pleasant gesture, right? To make sure that we heard Kazi Kaz this evening. All right. Coming up next, another mainstay of our community continues to come through and rock with us. Love when this cat comes through. Even when he doesn't come through, he's coming through to share his energy. The one and only JT Shannon in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you online, man. Been a minute, but always looking forward to hear what you got, man. Please, take it away.
As often as I can, and thank you for the introduction. It's great to be here. It's great to be among all of you wonderful people. So I'm just going to jump right into it. I just have the one. It's called Hanging 10 on the Edge of the End. I'm not a surfer, not of literal waves and high tides, but all my life I've been surfing from one fear to another. The end of the world, like 1,000 feet of water, always lurking just behind, but catching up. When I was a kid, it was quakes, the big one, ready to sink the California coast into a vortex of rock and ocean. A little older, and it was nukes. Prepare for the end so much I would stare off into the distance, imagining a mushroom cloud. The answer for both was to hide under your desk. We kids knew that would do nothing except make it easier to find our bodies. As a young man, it was war. Twins of metal tall, crashing into dust. I dreamed of planes falling from the sky. Older still, it was guns. Bang, bang, bang from nowhere, as some tormented soul cauterized their pain in the fire of a bullet's launch that I never see coming. On and on. Wars and pandemics, eruptions beneath our feet, and all of us on our boards hurl just beyond their reach, safely surfing on the edge of safety's end. I don't want the wave to catch me, but mostly, I'm just tired of being at sea. I was hanging 10 on the edge of the end. Thank you.
Man, this dude just came through and just like shipwrecked all of us. Unmute yourself, give it up for JT Shannon.
love the
bang
surf
from
metaphor.
nowhere.
Excellent work, JT.
Bang, bang,
Awesome.
bang from nowhere. Oh, that was nice.
Mhm.
Bang, bang, bang from nowhere. Oh my
Right.
God.
Yeah, that
Like,
discipline to like you held out before you would drop like this distinctive metaphor. And then you have this extended metaphor and you show like discipline, like, oh, I'm gonna wait, metaphor, jawbone, broken rib, metaphor, jawbone, broken rib, like dope, man. Dope stuff.
That was a hot metaphor for sure.
No doubt about it, right? No doubt about it. But see, when we see commercials, right, that do that, right, this is why they should always employ poets to be a part of it. Because when I saw, a commercial recently that said, oh, you want to know if this is that? Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Now, come on. You telling me in that 20 so seconds, maybe 15 seconds, that a poet couldn't put something better together than wait for it, wait for it, wait for it? Are you kidding me? Wait for it? How about again? Wait for it? Fuck out of here. Like, we are the most creative beings under the sun, and that's all they can come up with is wait for it? So I love that, right? Even from the title, hanging 10 on the edge of the end. Come on, man. Come on, man. Like, that's living a surfer's dream, is it not? Right? I believe they made a whole movie out of that. Point Break. Yes. Oh, okay. Right. So listen, I remember that, right? I came up in California and we used to have earthquake drills, right? Similar to what he's talking about, imagining a mushroom cloud, right? And they would put all the children under their desk. They say the safest place for you is under your desk, right? And I love the fact that he said, it will only make it easier to find our bodies. Damn it, that's just horrible, JT Shannon, but that's beautiful. Make sure you are plugged in with JT Shannon, a mainstay of our community. Love when that cat comes through and shares his incredible artistry. Coming up next, this poet came through recently and just was like, yo, I haven't been around in a while. I've been trying to find some stuff, but yo, I'm gonna just drop this heavyweight on y'all real quick, drop a couple tons, you know what I mean? And I'm thankful that they came back to drop off a couple of tons. The one and only Jesus Lugo is in the building. Glad to see you made it back. Let these folks know where they can find you online, man. Come on. You know what it is. Take it away.
I appreciate you, man. I hope you guys can hear me clear. I tried this on Thursday and it didn't go through because of the Wi-Fi connection. So I guess it was meant for me to use this poem today. But listen, I'm a proud Christian. I respect everybody's faith, everybody's belief, but God has been real impactful in my life. So everything that I write, I include God in everything. So this is just something that I wrote, just me talking to God. So I said, Father, it's me again. I'm still reaching out. I'm still broken. I need a word. Speaking, I'll do more than receive. I'll strive to achieve what it is that you have spoken. I'm done playing, no more joking. Life is not a game, though you the token. I no longer go through life asleep, now awoken. I'm a sponge in your word I'm soaking. Doors open, which once were closed. You made the call, but answering I chose. Excited should I be? Yes, I guess I suppose. But I feel the pressure like a kink in a hose. Through my writing, all of me now exposed. Don't give me none. All the credit goes to the one who rose. On my own, I'm sure to fold like hands to toes. So I need a hold, just help me grip like needle nose. When in the heat still, sometimes I froze. My spirit surrenders when my flesh still will oppose. My flesh still for real, my biggest foe. I'm stressed and yet my flesh still refills most of my woes. We're moving too fast, me, you seem to slow. Humility, the only way we all really need to go. Let go my ego. Nope, take it, it really need to go. I'm grown yet still really need to grow. Continue to break and take me beneath down to a deeper low. Only then in me you rise and your glory indeed is revealed and begins to really show. To live for you is yes. To go back to my mess, I'm thinking really no.
Without you, nothing is what I really know. You lead, I'll follow a new journey daily. Come on, I'm ready. Let's begin, let's go. I don't care if people throw shade. That's when the Holy Spirit in me begin to glow. My fruit then begin to show. For sure, when in the hole at bottom rock, you are my rope. I'm so thankful my sins are washed, no dove. Jesus blood my soul. Married to Christ, couldn't afford to wait, had to elope. Though I possess pain, I obtain and overload a hope. Even when broke, I'm blessed, my cup overflow. So I sip slow or am sure to choke. Your love covers the cloak, your spirit guides, helping me not to listen when Satan vocalizes. He vocal what lies. Local is where he lies, so behind the cross, help me to hide. Alone I failed, you know I tried, so you I need. On my knees, I come right before you like the letter T. With all of me, I come right after you like the letter V. I or SVP, you thankfully reserve my seat. And heaven amongst the Trinity is where I'll be. Because my soul wants a patient and I see you, not patiently. Waits for the moment when I stand in your presence and you I see. My G-O-D. In Jesus' name, thanks for your grace, your mercy, your L-O-V-E. Thank you.
Yo, that's not even cool, man. But that's fresh to death. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Jesus.
Fire, straight fire, yo. Wow.
Straight fire.
Wow. Straight
fire.
dope.
Oh.
Straight dope. Word up.
Let go, man.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
That was beautiful.
Straight up.
I'll
Wow.
tell you, call God Unkulunkulu.
Yep. Yep.
Because like Nkulu is big, and you say it twice. Unkulunkulu. Twice. Unkulu, the biggest one, and Kulu, the biggest one again. One love.
Yeah, thank you guys.
The biggest. Listen. Oh my gosh. The biggest. Jesus, listen. Anytime you start talking about faith, you start talking about your perspective when it comes to a cosmic being or an overall deity that has possibly created what we do. It makes things very small for us, right? You said I feel the pressure like a kink in a hose, right? Help me grip like needle nose. Absolutely. I'm grown yet still really need to grow, right? Married to Christ, couldn't wait. We had to elope. I love that because as young adults, you know, you find yourself finding the truth of the gospel, right? He said, I came after you like the letter V. I don't know if y'all caught that, right? But this is what I love about poets, because they are so literary. Even when he's talking about his faith, even when he's wrapped it in how good the Most High has been to him, he's still literary. And he's still just whap. Did you catch that? I don't know if you did, but it was in there. Appreciate you, Jesus. Make sure you continue to come through. As I mentioned, a mainstay of our community, right? One of the newer members, but continues to come through and burn it down. So, you know what I mean? That's what we do. Coming up next, I had the pleasure of featuring on this gentleman's platform. He is an incredible pilot of his open mic. It is always a pleasure to be amongst people who truly love what they do, right? I know all of you have heard when people call poets a poet's poet, right? It's one of those cats. The one and only Raw James is in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you online, Raw. It is always great to see you and share space with you. Please, take it away.
Always good to be back at the cafe, my brother. For those that couldn't attend, I'll be posting this man's feature probably midweek. I don't know how many of you have had the opportunity to listen to him or even heard him, because like myself, we don't recite much. We rather hold space for others to shine. But I hope you'll check it out. Anyway, I'll put my stuff in the chat afterwards. I've been going back and forth on what I want to recite, and I'm just going to go with it. I got 2 pieces pulled up, so I present these to you, and how you receive them, I leave it to you. First piece is very short. It's called Tomorrow's Joy. Beauty came to me on the winds of a promise. Pain is a new beginning, spring forth as a melody, lifted to zealous clouds that burst into a rebellion of jazz-filled teardrops, raining tomorrow's joy upon my bohemian soul. End of piece. And this is a brand new piece. It's not finished. I'm actually going to use you guys as a guinea pig and kind of sound it out with you. So hopefully you enjoy it. I'm subjugated to the truth of the process, universally balanced, grounded by gravity, time traveling as a passenger on life's arc. My human nature nestled in the eye of the storm, seeking an oasis from the desert of my mind. A spirit from love into the contrast of one heart. I am a mirror that reflects back the human condition. On the surface, beauty displays a divine wholesomeness, but just beneath lies the dis-ease of our suffering. I'm a divided house fighting my eternal contradictions. Standing on false pride, I am shaky before my fall. I'm the drama of creativity and the confusion. Virtue speaks good words that at times mask its intent. One soul of a creative idea. I am the art that imitates life, as I exhale a stream of life that imitates my internal art. My senses power the needle of my conscious compass. Pointing true north, I walk the path of light and dark. Mythical tales created to ease the demons of bad choices as we grieve the death of our innocence. Painting bricks off the wall to make sense of it all, nervously optimistic, we are the birth of the next revolution. Despite our complex nature, step by step, always forward to a new dawn, a new art, the next Babylon. We are the collective living the illusion of separation, one voice in the energies, free to be simple in complexity. Our journey in this Eden will continue to be challenging, for the discomfort in this garden is necessary for our growth. I think, therefore I am, until my return to the unknown. Legacy, that's up to you. For me, the adventure continues. End of piece. Blessing, poets.
Damn it. Damn it. The discomfort in the garden is necessary for our growth. Come on, unmute yourself. Give it up for Roger.
Oh, that was great ending.
James is one of those.
You got a good gift to bring in the bitter with the sweet.
That's
Necessary.
Awesome, Raw.
The quality of the sweet. That's good. Your work, man. Love you.
It's really good.
Very
Yeah.
nice, man. Very nice.
Uh-huh.
Like
Great,
Ro
Ro.
James is a spirit, and I've been gifted with seeing him in person, and he's actually even more beautiful in spirit when you see him. You know, one love.
Yeah.
So let me reinforce what Zikali is saying. When you meet some of these folks that we rock with, they are larger than life sometimes because of the energy that you get from them. Right? I've met some of these poets that we rock with online. I've met some of them, and I'm telling you, their energy frequency is true. It is. You can't fake frequency. You can't fake frequency. Listen, When Raw does what he does, he is unmatched, right? He mentioned it, right? He said he's a mirror that reflects back the human condition, right? A time traveler, right? As a passenger on life's arc, right? Ease the demons of bad choices, right? We are the birth of the next generation, the next Babylon. So what do we do with that time? What do we do with that effort? What do we do with that energy, right? How are we going to address the future? Which is a prompt coming up soon. Letters to the next generation. Letters to the next generation. What will you write to them? Appreciate you, Raul. Make sure you are plugging in with Raul James, a mainstay of our community and a host of his own open mic. Make sure you get the enlightenment from Raul James. All right, final three poets of the evening coming up next, all the way from Minnesota, right? And listen, my squad is playing in Minnesota right now, right? The Vikings and 49ers are playing right at this moment. But let me tell you, I love when this poet comes through, right? Because listen, as far as I know, there's only one poet in Minnesota, and their name is the incredible one and only Liz Minette. Let these folks know where they can find you online, Liz. It is always great to see you. Please take it away.
Thanks, Elemental. I don't know what the score is right now. I'm in my room here and the TV's out in the living room. So I know 49ers are in Minneapolis tonight, you know. So we'll see. Bikes are kind of having a bit of a tough season. So anyway, all right. One piece here. So one poem. I pay for parking with my phone through an app that chimes and lets me know my debit card is approved for my $3.70 purchase. I take a photo of the landscape beyond with my phone at the paid for day spot parking space posted up to Facebook, call it October Monday. My Facebook page, the place where I allow the world to see the best of me and my October Mondays that slide by while I'm at the office editing video by taking one scene and digitally cutting it and jumping it in front of another scene to tell a better story. It's also payday, and I take a photo of my check and send it to my bank with their app, Chime. It's deposited so I can buy more gas to get to work, groceries so my family can eat. And there are apps for this too that go chime, like a wake up call or the day's end whistle. That's it.
Yo, that is so damn beautiful. They go chime. Oh my gosh. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Liz Minette.
Nice. I gotta say this. Fuck the agree button. No. I know that was wrong, but I had to say it.
What was that, CC?
Fuck the agree button.
Yeah.
I love CC because CC is a whole damn revolutionary, just like everybody else in this building. Whole revolutionaries, right? Thank you for all of you for doing what you do. Liz Minette, you are so on point with what we deal with right now. You said you pay for parking with your phone, right? At one point in time, those things were the 8 coins, right? Like you couldn't go and park on the street without feeding the machine, right? Call it October Monday, right? Tell a better story. Chime, it's deposited. There are apps for this too. Listen, if we're not careful, there will be apps that do everything except human. Just saying. There will be apps that do everything except human, and then they will come up with an app that humans better than humans. Just saying. They're working on it. Trust me, they're working on the algorithms right now. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, Liz Manette. For real, as far as I know, the only poet in Minnesota rocking with us and continues to rock on a regular and is dope at it. Dope with it. For real. Thank you, Liz Manette. Final two poets of the evening. Let's go. Coming up next, this poet usually comes in the last space of the evening, and it's finally, I'm telling you, this cat's got the algorithm down where he finally has gotten himself as like right at the end, if not the closer of every evening. The one and only Prince of P is in the building. Always looking forward to what this cat has to share with us. Let these folks know where they can find you online. Always great to see you. Please take it away.
Hello, my name is Prince of P. You can find me on at Prince P. Giddy Jr. on Instagram. I will be reciting two poems. First poem is called New Memories. In New York, concrete jungles where dreams are made of. There's nothing you can't do. Yes, indeed. In this city, there's nothing you can't do. You can't get glued to floors and walls of airports, waiting for time to slink into hours, minutes, and seconds, being blighted and sundered by your withering hope of flying today. Yeah, as Frank Sinatra sung, I want to be part of it. New York, New York. Me too. Because I enjoy the international flavors that my mouth relishes. Mine is the omnipresent traffic, human traffic that is. You'll be caught lacking where the hands of time be slapping. Or handle life be slapping. Lucky me, I'm flying high to where my home resides, like a bird doing a seasonal hunt for a home to warm their fluffy bodies. Imprinted memories left on my mind, ode to youthfulness, flash like a light. At the bottom of the knife, 11 stars had me fear-stricken. No longer am I that 11-year-old me who first saw his dad's family, who saw his dad's family for the first time. I am now audacious as an unexperienced child who had nothing on the utility bill. Memories of the past flood my mind like a submerged submarine. Made this new adult memory be marched in my mind. That's the first poem. And the second poem is called Lover. Vulnerable, voluptuous woman, wearing her sultry soul for me to solely see, to love hard and hold her heavy heart, love that lonely soul of hers, like lightly lit lamps with brightness, with the width of tall trees standing still next to her. I show her rain showers of love, sun by her and her stunned by my love, home to open her eyes to warmth, not war. Her heart was art from my brush, not in the rush to lust, to fall between her tributary legs, due to my masculine presence. Staring into her stunning eyes, I'm reminded of my why, starting to harp with my shiny self, striking with lightning, the fear in her heart. I am her lovely lover. I am her lovely lover, mender her with my life. Poem.
And every time you rip, we are reminded why you are a member of our community. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Prince of Peace.
Right on, bro.
Yeah. Always do. I love like the way you are so sensitive poetry. Like there's nothing bigger than sensitivity to poetry. Like you are so sensitive. Like when you write your poems, you're sensitive, and that is the biggest thing with poetry, because then you realize that you're poet free. You're not poetry. You're poet free.
This guy. Did you just coin a new phrase and mention Ralph Tresvant in the same sentence? I think so, right? I heard you say sensitivity, and then you said not poetry, but poet free. You trip me out, Zumkonto. We are getting to the Kings of Kali. We're getting to that. Principe mentions when that song came out, right? He said, they mentioned, you're in New York, concrete jungles where dreams are made of, right? And then he said he, wants to be, part of it, a great big part of it, right? When you come across big cities like New York, they are filled with dreams, right? Big city of dreams, but everything in New York ain't always what it seems. Everything in LA ain't always what it seems. Everything in Chicago, everything in Florida, right? Everything in San Francisco, it ain't always what it seems, right? People like to glorify aspects of it, but it ain't always what it seems, right? You mentioned audacious mind, right? I'm a veteran and I have a challenge coin that mentions audacious, right? Given to me by the president of my university. That's something, that word is something that I hold very dear. So thank you for even spitting that out this evening. All right. We have reached the closer for the evening. Listen, shout out Storm Gods in the building. This dude is a true atmosphere rearranger. If you are not aware of what this gentleman is about to do, prepare yourself. Batten down the hatches, put the cardboard or the particle board up on your windows. This cat's about to do it. Taking us home this evening. The one and only Zumkonto is in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you online, King. Come on, man. You know what it is. Take it away.
If you want to find me, I would love people to visit my YouTube, Zumkonto Kabaten. So I'm gonna do this on theme. My turning point was a cul-de-sac where lived neighbors that hated each other. I was always wondering as a kid why two grown men would always wake up to 10 pointed fingers like AK-47s, as if we don't already have many black men hating each other's guts. It was until I fell in love that I realized they were the problem. Because my woman loved my fingers, and when she tend to point it was at my favorite food or something that made me smile. So why those neighbors wouldn't reconcile is beyond me. They seem like two grown babies trying to conquer the world, but with the wrong tools. A turning point begins with love, an abbreviation for learning other values every day. Those neighbors misunderstood a cul-de-sac. A U-turn is a horseshoe for the most beautiful, wild horses that turn the heart to a race course. And if you watch the race, your heartbeat is so fast that they run into your soul. I learned that when I fell in love. That woman ran into my heart like a crash collision. She was the fastest horse. My turning point was a whirlwind of joy that burned my fingerprints when I held it. the turning point was watching those two go at it as if black on black violence wasn't a thing anymore. But my lover pointed to my heart and said, "This beating heart of yours is worth fighting for." She said the turning point of her was stroking my dreadlocks, and my dreadlock was all she had been dying for. But those two men, they bothered me so. How could I experience the best love and they fight like it didn't matter that black on black violence is a crisis? When did they walk out the door and decide that the turning point was turning on each other? When did they think pointing fingers was the way that my lover pointed in the direction of the most beautiful music you can ever wake up to? I guess their turning point was death. So I RIP to them both.
Damn it. This is what I love about poets who know for a damn fact they have poetic license. Unmute yourself, give it up for some Conto.
Yeah,
And you're a
perfect.
beautiful man at your beautiful, vulnerable depth self.
Brilliant. Brilliant piece. Wow. Incredible work.
Teach us love or even lead a little of your own. You're a beautiful man.
Thank you so much. I appreciate all of you, and thank you for sharing of your poetry.
It's okay. It's okay that caring and loving ODs once in a while too. You know what I'm saying? You know, since we get this nice. Sometimes you gotta like Raul said, the bitter and the sweet. You bring it in there. You know, you wake up and there it is. The next, what do you say? The next. You know what I'm. You know, you finish it out. You know what you're doing, Mr. Host.
You see what we do? You see what we do? You see what we do? I could have swore, I think he said, like, he mixed food with poetry. Is that what you just did? Damn it. Listen, we're talking about endorphins, right? We're talking about dopamine, right? We're dope. I mean, dopamine. So you said a cul-de-sac where neighbors hated each other. Man, gosh. As if we don't already have black men hating each other's guts. Two grown babies trying to conquer the world. Right? What are we gonna do tomorrow, brain? Same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world. Right? Right? My turning point was a whirlwind of joy. You know, I think my turning point to make it through every single week is Monday night. Because every single one of you really put your soul into these poems. And I need you to know that I actually feel them. I wouldn't be here without all of you. Liz and Ike and Doug Silver, right? Paul Skiff, the Megas, Mr. Tez, JT Shannon, right? CC, daughter of Krypton Raw, Dre Reyes, Marianne Teff, right? I see you, Garland Thompson, right? Prince of P, right? All these folks. We wouldn't be here without all of you. Melinda Lucas, right? Aurora Patton, we wouldn't be here without all of you continuing to come through week after week and share your vulnerability with us. I'm telling you, you make this thing go, right? To every poet who has touched the mic this evening, from our opener, Dre Reyes, to our closer, Zonconto, and every Mr. Tez and Liz Manette and Raw James in between. Shout out Doug Silver. Again, all the veterans in the building, all the educators in the building. All of y'all are magnificent. Hear me when I say that. You're magnificent, right? All the folks who couldn't be here this evening. Shout out Kate. Shout out Mia Aguilera. All the folks who couldn't be here, Generalissimo. All those folks. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. We'll end the night like this. Until we meet again. May this energy we conjured this evening supercharge the rest of your week. Take this power. Inspire others. Energize creativity as we all hope to do through the spirit of Miguel Agarin. Your voice is appreciated, necessary, and always valuable in this space. Thank you for sharing it with us. On behalf of the greatest community in the world, it has truly been an honor and a pleasure spending Monday night with you. Until next week, y'all. Peace.